1. What's up, dude?
What's going on?
Man, let's just get right into it. I want to talk about some breaking news that just came in. Actually, some pretty important news over a very popular figure.
Fresh off the press.
Fresh.
Hot.
Joe Rogan is moving his podcast to Spotify. What's the terms? Like, what's going on with that?
It's a huge deal. Obviously, he's the biggest podcast in the world, and Spotify is obviously a ginormous company with all kinds of stuff on it, all kinds of music content and podcasts. And they signed that other dude, right, just a little bit ago, Bill Simmons, a giant deal. I think it was hundreds of millions of dollars.
He's a sportscaster, right? He's a sports guy.
He had The Ringer, and I think they just bought Spotify, maybe bought his whole company, The Ringer, and the podcast came with it, obviously.
Spotify bought Bill Simmons' company.
Yeah, and I think it was over $100 million, if not close to, but Joe Rogan's was over $100 million, and they have I don't know, it's really not like a huge difference, it seems like, to be honest. A lot of people, I bet, are freaking out, but it doesn't seem like a huge difference. Still free at the end of the day.
Yeah, but people are going to freak out regardless, right?
Yeah.
Things are changing. Things are going to be different. They're going to have to go somewhere else.
Different platform.
If they weren't on Spotify before listening to us. I don't think he was, right? He wasn't on Spotify at all.
When you look it up, he's not there. Yeah, exactly. So maybe Spotify was just itching to get him, or maybe there was like an attempt at the beginning and they just couldn't strike a deal, and then now they threw him a fat old check and he said... how could you say no, right? Like, how would you say no? Even how wealthy he already is. His podcast, I'm sure, did a lot to contribute to that. And why not? I mean, $100 million? How are you going to say no to that?
I wonder what the terms are, though. Like, how many years is it just for?
He just said multi-year, so more than a year.
Contract for $100 million. And it was starting September 1st. The podcast will be on Spotify, but
and the
including
other platforms,
everything.
Yeah.
So essentially, it's going to be on all of the platforms. But then after the year's over, so starting fresh next year, it's going to be exclusively on Spotify, but the full episodes. So full audio, full video is going to be on Spotify.
Yeah, exclusively. On there.
But then he's still going to make clips, like the little mini clips, 10, 15 minute, however many minutes it is. That's still going to be on YouTube. So that still will be good, but it's tough, dude. I mean, he's probably going to lose people. He's definitely going to lose like viewership. Like, some people aren't going to, even though it's free, right? It's still,
it's a difference though. YouTube is definitely more like all over the place. YouTube is more well known. It's still going to be there. And I don't know if more people listen to his clips anyway. I don't know. He still gets millions of views on both. So it is going to be a difference.
And the full videos too.
But I mean, on Spotify, I don't know. Maybe he felt like I don't think he needed Spotify for his popularity to be on top. That's what I think what you were saying.
His foundation is already strong.
Huge,
like it's already,
he's on top. He's the king. And that's why I think what you were saying is right, that his viewership is probably going to go down because he's already at the top. And like,
there's only one way down.
It's only one way to go when you're at the top.
So down. Viewerships are going to go down. It's still going to be free though, he said.
Yeah, but I bet you I don't know. We have YouTube Premium, so we don't deal with ads, but I don't think there's ads on his episodes.
That's a good point. Yeah, I wonder how the ads are like. Spotify definitely has ads. Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
And if you have to, I bet you have to pay to get rid of the ads like YouTube. But I don't know if initially like his YouTube videos, the whole 3-hour, 2-hour ones are ad free. I have no idea because we got premium.
Yeah, we got premium.
Fresh.
Yeah, so we don't know what the advertisements are on his podcast, but we'll see. I guess.
Don't think so. I don't think so because normally ads are on like family friendly content right now. It's not really on. I would say that ads who work with YouTube aren't running to Joe Rogan's podcast to get on there. You're definitely going to be seen, but
just because of his content, just because of what he talks about.
Kid friendly for sure. He's definitely not, but he still gets, it doesn't matter. Still gets millions of views.
Yeah. So deal's worth $100 million. However, for however long,
still a huge amount of money. Do you think it's like a basketball player? Like, let's say if it's 3 years, he's going to get like 33 million.
Yeah, probably.
You think in 1 year, like a basketball player?
He probably gets paid just like us, like, bi-weekly every every 2 weeks gets paid. I don't really know for sure. I would assume that he doesn't get that money up front.
Stuff like that. Like, who knows?
Yeah, who really knows? But he did mention also that Spotify is going to have no creative control over that, over what he says. So it's still going to be the same show, same people, same things that he says. But, you know, at the same time, Spotify still kind of, it's like a dark cloud over him.
They're above there now. He's on their platform, like, exclusively too. Like,
he sold his soul to Spotify.
So I don't know, like, even though it's Joe Rogan and you like to think that he's a titan in the business and he's not gonna,
which he is, yeah,
you know, he's not gonna
take a hit though. He's not invincible. Yeah, he's a titan, but he's not invincible.
And like, I mean, I wouldn't doubt it though, dude. I wouldn't doubt it that he says something that he's already been attacked on Twitter multiple times. He's already had random tweet storms shot at him, but if that happens again, and because now they're going to yell at Spotify. Now they're going to yell at the company and be like, why do you have him on your platform?
Yeah, now they're going to, exactly. That's there? A good point. That is
why
a very good point.
You like, why do you hire him? Why do you affiliate with someone that's like they've already called him racist, transphobic, all that nonsense. They've already called him a bunch of times over and over again. But if that happens again and I'm bigger, then they're going to cry to Spotify, and Spotify is probably going to tell them to, I don't know, clean up, right? Like they have to. They're huge. They paid him $100 million. That's huge, dude.
And that's a very good point, because all the people that are upset at Joe Rogan and all the, you know, the hate that he's getting, that's going to be directed to Spotify now. Be like, oh, you guys are supporting this guy, bring him down, or, you know, don't keep paying him. So we'll see how that works out.
The next thing you know, like a wave of just anti-Spotify, like not even all day, like on top of Joe Rogan. It's like, there's this band that does this and that. You let them on there. You have a contract with them. There's this guy who said this and that, and it just piles on. And then there's articles of Spotify harboring hate people, like people filled with hate stuff. And then Spotify's like, crap. Okay. Even though he's the king, dude.
I think that it's both a risk for both of them. I think it's a risk for Spotify and a risk for Joe Rogan, because you would think that Joe Rogan's viewership is going to go down.
But like it's not
going to improve going on Spotify, right? It's not going to go up.
Probably,
and then Spotify is going to get like Spotify's. I mean, they're a couple now. They're in a relationship. They're married, you know, for however many years
intertwined.
It is. Yeah, they're together now. Like they're a pair. So we'll see how that works out. I mean, supposedly the content's going to be the same. I mean, it's not like we're going to stop listening to him. I mean,
he's huge. And he's the dude that started it all. He's the guy who did it, who set the like footsteps or the guidelines.
Yeah, the standard. Sure. He's the bar. Regardless of if you agree with what he says or with what he doesn't, like,
huge.
He's still the king. He's still going to make money regardless, whether if Spotify pays him or if somebody else pays him. He just has a foundation. He has a fan base. He's the best. You know, he's the best podcaster by far.
I wouldn't doubt that he knew this going into it, that YouTube's more popular, that the other platforms do bring him a lot of views, and that just being on Spotify is most likely going to bring his view count down. But it's going to bring exactly. And all the sponsors he has, he's probably going to get rid of them, because why have a sponsor when Spotify is giving you millions per episode? It's probably, he looked at it. I'm sure he's not stupid.
Yeah, he made
I'm sure
decision.
He understands. He's like, you know what? He probably weighed it, and he wouldn't take the deal if he didn't benefit more. If he didn't look at it as if he didn't look at it as better than his current situation,
then he wouldn't have taken it.
He wouldn't have, exactly then.
His viewership's going to go down, but his money's going to go up. So.
And at the end of the day, I mean, he's a comedian, he's UFC, he's this and that. I mean, he doesn't mind taking a decline in viewership from his podcast, I bet. And if Spotify is going to continue giving him the same amount of money with this multi-year deal, regardless of how many people watch, they're locked in, dude.
Yeah. So both of the companies, or both Spotify and Joe Rogan, think that it's going to be beneficial for both of them, or else they wouldn't have made the deal.
Yeah, obviously.
It's just going to be, you know, kind of interesting, I guess, because the viewership, it can't stay the same, man. Just being exclusively on Spotify, it's not going to. Yeah,
YouTube's huge, stay the same. Dude.
So yeah, YouTube is the second highest like search engine, right? Or like
ever,
the second,
or like, you know,
it's number 2 behind Google. That's what I'm trying to say.
Isn't it kind of Google too? Isn't YouTube basically Google? But
I don't know if Google owns YouTube. Maybe I don't really know. maybe.
But yeah, I mean, Spotify. Do you even think Spotify is the biggest like music platform out there?
No.
Like Apple Music?
It's definitely Apple. Yeah,
What
I would think
else?
Apple's still Pandora.
Pandora? No, Spotify's
But I think
bigger than
Spotify.
Pandora.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think Spotify does take Pandora at least now. I don't think if like we were having this conversation like a couple years ago. I think Pandora wins, but Spotify at this point,
and Apple Music for sure. Probably the
Yeah.
Google Music and some other, but
or like YouTube or whatever.
But yeah, that's a good point. I bet you YouTube Music is probably bigger than Spotify or close to.
Yeah, I don't know, man. It's a good question. It's going to be interesting. I mean, it's still months away. Like it's September 1st.
And anything can happen, right? Like
yeah, who knows? I mean, maybe he's going to promote it, and viewership's going to go up, and Spotify's going to be happy. You know, who really knows? But Joe Rogan's going to be happy regardless because he got $100 million. So, I mean, that works out. I mean, he's the best. So I can't complain. Can't tell him no.
Dude.
It's still going to be free. He's giving out good content. You know, it's interesting, very informative. He's the best. Like, he's the GOAT.
He's the best. Yeah, dude. Maybe not the ever was. There could obviously someone who come and topple the king and be bigger.
As of right now.
But he's definitely the greatest right now.
As of right now,
Which is
he's
crazy.
The GOAT. Yeah. Yeah, as of right
It's
now. Who would have thought,
crazy.
right? That Fear Factor guy.
Dude, yeah, the Fear Factor guy. What else did he? Yeah, just the Fear Factor guy and his
That's what he's
stand-up.
most known for, right? Is Fear
For
Factor.
us, at least, because we
Yeah.
weren't old enough to watch him on this TV shows and stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. So he's the best, dude. He's the GOAT. He's the GOAT. But moving from one GOAT to another GOAT.
To the next.
So yeah, from one GOAT to the next GOAT. The Last Dance, Michael Jordan's documentary, is finito. Done. 10 parts are over.
How many weeks is that? 5 weeks in, right? Two episodes
5 weeks,
per week.
yeah.
So 5, a month journey, over a month journey.
It was good stuff, dude. It was
Dude,
interesting.
Yeah, every single one.
Regardless of us knowing how it's going to end, you know, he gets that last championship, like the Last Dance. That's why it's called or whatever. Even though we knew what was going to happen, it was still very interesting. Like, it was a well done documentary, good information. Everybody that you want to see, Scotty, Dennis Rodman, Steve Kerr. Like,
Everyone spoke, dude. Not
everyone
like
had-
the Fab Five one where Chris Webber didn't show up
backed
or
out,
someone
Chris
didn't show
Webber,
up.
yeah.
Like, and it was even on top of that, David Stern, Kobe was in everybody.
Exactly.
Like,
Kobe, Kobe had a little clip in there.
everybody was in there because
Yeah,
everybody had something to say about the freaking Chicago Bulls, dude, for sure.
Arguably the best dynasty of all time.
Ever, yeah, of all time.
I mean, him
compared
and
with
Bill
the
Russell, I
Yankees,
guess.
dude, they're definitely comparable with the Yankees and whoever
In
you
the
want to put
modern
in
era,
there.
I guess, right?
Or the Patriots, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah, but I mean, Michael Jordan, he's definitely the number one or most popular athlete of all time, right? You would think.
Ever, especially at the time he was on top of the world, dude, for sure. He was probably the most popular person in the world. Who would be there? Like Michael Jackson? Who would be on his level? No, dude, it's probably him worldwide,
In the
especially with the
90s.
Olympics, 6 championships in 8 years. It's got to be the most,
it's hard
the
to
biggest
argue
dude
the
in the
other way.
world.
It's hard to argue the other way because in the 90s, he owned the 90s, dude. He owned it. It was him,
Huge.
Michael Jackson, Macaulay Culkin.
That picture, yeah, Macaulay Culkin
Yeah,
of them.
that's it, dude.
Most 90s pictures of all time, dude.
Yep. Michael Jackson standing next to Macaulay Culkin, standing next to Michael Jordan.
And he was perfect, dude. Michael was good looking. It's like bald hair, like looking at like just comparing looks to like, let's say like what we were talking about it with while we were watching it, we were talking about like Reggie Miller was bald, but he just didn't look that good. He didn't look like his, I don't know, his face. Like Michael just had a face of just like not caring or determined. He was chewing gum all the time, and then his headphones.
Yeah, he was ripped. The tongue out, and the number 23. The simplicity of how the Bulls jersey is.
Just
like if he would have been
red, white, or red and black, like they looked fresh too.
If he would have been in like that Utah Jazz purple with the mountains, or what other jerseys?
The
like
Nuggets,
crazy? The Nuggets,
or the Pacers even looked a little bit wild with their yellow and blue.
It's just he was perfect at the perfect time. Like.
Perfect team,
he transcended
dude.
sports, transcended the NBA, like worldwide. And he was just a perfect player, dude. Like he was the perfect guy to do it. He wasn't a big man.
Like a phenomenon, like not even basketball, just a cultural just change. Like he led, I don't know, like that's what David Stern was saying, right? Like there was before him or before he entered the draft, it was like the NBA was in 50 countries. And then when he left, it was in
like 200 plus,
270 or some crazy number. And it's just like, man, dude, but 6 champions, when Isaac said the Patriots earlier, I don't think they're comparable, dude. But Brady's played what, 20 years? Right?
Yeah, 20.
So 6 and 20, like 6 out of 20. 6 out of 8,
beast.
bro?
Yeah. Yeah, 6 out of 8.
And
6
LeBron went to 8 straight,
years.
but it was 3. So
and
he needed 3 more.
And then on top of that, those 2 years he was playing baseball. The 6
It wasn't because he was losing.
8 years. Yeah.
Could have been 8. It probably would have been 8. Someone said that it wouldn't have been Akeem or Kenny or someone said it.
I think it was Robert Horry.
Robert Horry, big shot Bob, dude, but nah, he would have won 8. He was crying that he didn't have 7 at the end of it, dude. He was mad that he couldn't get one more.
And that's crazy. Like for him to still kind of hold that against the owner and the GM, like
it's eating at him. And then it went to the next scene was Phil Jackson saying like he's at peace with it. He's like, oh, we did what we need to do. We're good. And Michael Jordan was like, nah, it still bothers me. It still itches
I can't get over it. I can't get over what they did to us, how they destroyed it. Because they won that championship. What year? 98? I think they won that championship in 98.
He's like, I already on 1-year deals. I already did all that stuff. Everybody would have signed up.
Yeah, he's like, everybody would have signed. But instead, after them winning the championship, they decided to rebuild the next year. They destroyed the team. And they trade Scotty.
Rodman gone.
Yeah, they trade
Jordan
everybody.
retires. Coach gone.
Phil Jackson, exactly. Yeah, he's gone. So Michael Jordan retires. So from winning the championship 1 year to the next year, instantly rebuild. Like they're at the bottom of the barrel now. So it's like, man, it's tough.
But it is 3. I don't know. Obviously, the owner had some really crappy excuse, and Jordan for sure is never going to take that nonsense.
Yeah.
But I like what you're saying. One champ, like maybe if like the Raptors aren't rebuilding. Obviously, COVID interrupted everything, but they weren't rebuilding. They were like number 2 or 3 in the East. But like, let's say they won last year, Kawhi left. I think there was a lot of people saying that the Raptors were going to rebuild.
Yeah.
But that's after 1. They did 3 in a row, and I don't know. I don't agree with what he was saying. Like Jordan said, they could just sign 1 year and we'll be on the team. I'm sure everybody would want to go for 7, but he is right that those 3 in a row were just like, I don't know. It was definitely going to be a huge bill.
Yeah.
A huge bill. But I'm sure the Bulls are raking in stacks. But Jordan, I'm sure that 1 year deal would be the highest paid player. Pippen, if there was that stat before, right? He was like 107th paid.
Yeah, he was like the 100.
Do you think he was at the time?
Paid?
Do you think he was in 98, like when it was the last stand? Do you think?
I don't know, but either way, he's always been underpaid. And plus, I think it was the owner that straight up was like, Scotty's not going to sign. Like, why would I ask him? He's not going to sign.
That's what Jordan said too. He's like, Pip, I don't know. He's like, you need some convincing for him.
Then he was like, but for a shot to run at a 7th championship?
How can he say no? Yeah, like how could he straight up say no to that? Come on.
And Scotty
was there for all 6. Like, yeah, dude.
He was there for all of them. Yeah, Scotty was right there by him. It's tough, dude, but I mean, the way that it ended, it sucked, but at least it happened, right? That's what Phil Jackson's like. It happened. We did work. We did what we had to do. We came in. We left. And that thing where Phil Jackson, it was kind of interesting. So everything's all over. They won 6 championships. You know, the entire season, the season was called The Last Dance.
Everyone knew it. Like, they knew that this was it.
The GM was like, if you go 82-0, Phil, you're still going to get fired.
Which is ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah. So everybody knew it. They won the championship. I don't remember how many days passed after they won the championship, but they got together. Phil was like, bring written letter, right?
Jordan wrote like a poem of what was it? It was like what you liked about the team, what you liked about the season, or
what
something
it meant
like
for
that.
you.
Yeah, exactly. That's what it was. That's what it was. What it meant, what this team meant to you, and they all wrote it down.
They wrote it. They threw it in a fire. It's like, that's interesting, dude. It's like, that's it.
It's like, that's just, almost saying like, this is everything, and it's like, gone. It ends. It's gone like it has to. Nothing's permanent. Like this is it. Like, it's done. Just burn it and get it off your chest, off your shoulders, because this is it. Like, we're done. But it's still nice. Like, it's still like a good gesture to have, to like make people like think about the good and then understand that it like has to end. Like, remember the good.
Like a final thing, like just have, what's that called? I can't think of it. But just to have just like a sort of finality, like just for it to end. Boom, that's it.
Burn it, like literally.
Phil deserves a lot of credit. I think more credit than what is given to him, because what he did with Dennis Rodman and Michael Jordan, the egos that were on that team.
Those are crazy. Dude. Jordan is just as crazy. That's what we were saying when we were watching it. Yeah, just a
different crazy.
Yeah, different, completely different crazy, but Jordan is just as nuts, dude. He's
as
just
Dennis Rodman. Yeah. They're both crazy, but different types of crazy, but they're both just as crazy.
Nuts.
Yeah, like imagine, like that's what goes back to what we were saying about Michael Jordan being like perfect. Like imagine a guy like Dennis Rodman. Imagine Dennis Rodman and then having Michael Jordan's ability. Like,
oh dude, man, no one would remember him.
Yeah.
He probably wouldn't be on the Olympics. He wouldn't freaking be the MVP. He'd probably get traded. Like, teams would get just sick of him, dude. Like they did, like in like Dennis and Rio. But you still have a talent. Like, I don't know, like if Jordan needed to do the same things Dennis did and go out to Vegas, fuck Carmen Electra, do this, do that, and have a good time and whatever, like wherever he wanted to party. But he still came back and gave more than 100%.
Yeah.
D'd up the best players in the world, shot, like did it all. Then
you got to respect it, dude.
If it depends on the team. If the Bulls, like, let's say they draft, where it's completely hypothetical, right? Like if Jordan was Rodman, but if they drafted him like that and then they recognized that he was a ridiculously talented player, but he needed this like party time,
kind of vacation,
then I mean, it depends on who you are. Like the Lakers are like I'm thinking like a very good coach, like. What's his name? Who's the best? John Wooden. Like he's not an NBA coach, but if he had something like that, like Kareem, and Kareem was acting obnoxious and horrible, John Wooden would boot his ass. He's gone.
He wouldn't have.
He's
lasted.
Off the team.
He wouldn't
but
have
a certain coach.
That's what I'm saying. It's like Phil Jackson deserves a lot of credit.
That's a good point. Yeah,
he's like, this guy needs to go, fight Hulk Hogan. That's what he did.
WWE.
Right?
He went to be in Raw.
Skipped. I think it was after game 3.
In the finals.
After game 3. After game 3, he goes and takes the next day off when it's supposed to be practice, right? You're at practice. He takes that day off to go to WWE and wrestle Hulk Hogan or
smack people with chairs, hit people in the back of the head with some chairs.
And then he comes back and has to guard Karl Malone.
The second best scorer in NBA history.
Yeah, number 2. He's number 2 behind Kareem. Of all-time points, Karl Malone. And that's who Dennis Rodman had to guard after fighting Hulk Hogan or whatever he did.
He had to fight Karl Malone, another dude who's bigger, and taller.
Without practice.
off a binge, I bet. He was straight binging for a whole day.
Yeah. And he did it.
And he won, dude.
Yeah, and he did
dude, and that at the end when they knew that Jordan pushed, he was walking back, dude. He was walking back. He's like, oh, this guy's going to shoot it. It doesn't matter if John Paxson, nobody. He is taking it. And Rodman was walking.
Yeah, walking back on that shot he had over Russell where he pushed him. And then just shot it right over him.
He also had a shot, too. You remember Rodman had a J2 in that game or one of the finals? It was like, what? And he shrugged. He was like shrugging.
He shrugged it.
Dude,
it was interesting,
good,
dude.
But
and then, Phil Jackson deserves a lot of credit. I think George Karl, I think that's his name. George Karl.
The Nuggets coach?
He was like an old Nuggets coach.
Who didn't say hi to Jordan that one time, right? That pissed him off. That was the Supersonics. That was the Seattle Supersonics with that Gary Payton.
Yeah. So that coach, George Karl, he came out recently and said that if Dennis would have done that on his team, he wouldn't have played him. He's like, Phil is very smart. He's like, Phil noticed that Dennis needs these kind of vacations in order to come back and guard Karl Malone. He needs that. And George Karl was like, I wouldn't have recognized that. Like, I wouldn't have realized that he needs that in order to do what he does on the court. So
yeah, what would you have been like? You would have just criticized him regardless. You would have gotten mad and just ridiculed him, and that's not the way it's gonna happen. That's just not.
And the media asked Phil Jackson like, "Oh, what do you think of this distraction?" Phil Jackson was like, "He's distracting you."
Yeah, that's exactly up.
He's distracting you, not us.
Not me. I'm good.
We're focused on the finals. Yeah, so it takes a certain kind of person, like with a lot of patience, a lot of calm, like a lot of experience. So
that's why
Phil
George
Jackson was
don't
the guy.
have 11 championships like Phil Jackson, dude.
6 with the Bulls, 5 with the Lakers.
11. That's wild. I don't even think George has one. I don't think that.
And that's just his coaching.
Who has the second most?
And then he has
Bulls?
that championship
Player,
on the Knicks,
12.
when he was a player. Yeah, so
Who has the second most? Like Bill, obviously, as a coach or as a player.
yeah, I think it's 12
None
or
as a
11. No, I
coach.
think it's 11.
Who was his coach?
Bill Russell?
No
I don't
idea,
know.
but I'm sure that guy's got
That's a good
fat
question.
number.
A very good question. Yeah, Bill Russell's up there. Phil Jackson's up there. Steve Kerr's up there. Robert Horry. In terms of like all time,
Everybody in the NBA, coaches and players.
Yeah.
Steve Kerr's getting he has 8.
Yeah, I think he has just
8
about
right
8,
now.
I
He's
wanna
getting
say.
close. That's some huge numbers for Steve Kerr. 5 was it 2 with the Spurs, 3-peat with the Bulls, and then 2 with the Spurs,
Yeah.
and then a back-to-back with the Warriors, and then that one in 2015.
Yep. Yeah, so I want to say he's got 8.
8. That's nuts, dude. And that that was sad too, what he said about how his dad, every national anthem, I bet you before an NBA game, he was just thinking, he was like, man, my dad would have loved to watch this.
Yeah.
And his mom was still alive. His mom was still alive today, I bet. And, who knows, but his dad definitely could have seen a lot, if not all of it.
Yeah,
He's a coach right now. He was an analyst. He was like a GM for the Suns. And now he's probably the best coach in the NBA. Obviously, his team's kind of not the best right now.
Yeah.
They were the worst in the NBA, I think. But, obviously all the injuries that they dealt with.
And in that story, they had the little segment about Steve Kerr and his dad. In that, segment that they had for him, Steve Kerr almost made it seem like his dad didn't believe that he was ever going to be in the NBA or have the type of basketball success that he's had. And he's like, man, I wish my dad would be here to see this, because he wouldn't believe it.
That's crazy, dude.
He wouldn't be able to comprehend where I'm at right now. I scored a multiple clutch baskets in the finals, in the playoffs with Michael Jordan as his teammates, trusting Steve Kerr, making the shot. And then he goes and coaches and becomes the Warriors coach.
Everything,
and
though, dude. From the beginning, I think he died his freshman year, and then he led Arizona to a Final Four with Sean Elliott. He didn't see that.
Yeah,
he didn't see him get drafted. I think he was a late pick by who did they say? It was the 76ers? No, it was, I can't remember.
Who? Steve Kerr?
They said that
Suns.
his first team. No.
No, it was the Phoenix Suns. He's like, the Suns drafted me, and it only lasted 1 year.
No.
As a player?
Yeah, I think it was another team, dude.
No, he said the Suns.
Are you sure?
Yeah, he said the Suns drafted him, and he only lasted a year on the Suns, and then he went somewhere else. I think it was the Cavs. Maybe he played on the Cavs.
Yeah.
He played on the Cavs for a bit, did well, and then went on the Bulls, and then the Spurs afterwards.
I think it was the Bulls. And no. I think you're right. And he said he was able to watch the Bulls play while he was on the
Cavs.
I guess the Cavs. Yeah, it's probably with the Cavs, and he was just watching the Bulls play. And he was like, John Paxson, dude, that guy.
He's like, I need to be him.
The sweetest job in the NBA. Role player next to Michael Jordan. Just when he passes, when he drives and the lane's not open, dish out to this dude and hit it.
And then just hit the wide open 3.
And he saw none of that, dude.
The defense is going to collapse on Michael Jordan. Just kick it out, hit a 3 wide open.
5-time champion, dude. 5 with 2 different teams.
Yep.
Retired, became I think it was a GM first for the Suns.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't do good because, who the hell is going to fix the Suns?
Yeah.
Good luck.
A lot of people have tried.
Good freaking luck, dude. But
a lot
couldn't
of people
do
have
it.
tried.
Left or got fired. Who knows? Who cares? But became an analyst with TNT, and I think he was on 2K, right? I'm pretty sure he was the voice of 2K, and then they had to replace him. And I remember thinking that, next year, what they going to do with Steve Kerr? Dude, they're going to have him on the sidelines? And first year as a coach, he won the championship. He got a little lucky, like all the arguments that the NBA players have about injuries. The Warriors got lucky with injuries their first year. The Raptors got lucky with the Warriors' injuries that year.
Yeah.
Last year, but they got lucky or not. They beat LeBron. It was a good series. I remember it wasn't like a blowout. I think it was like a 6-game series.
Yep.
Got in his first year, he won the championship. Got the 73-9 team the next year. Couldn't finish it off. Was 1 game away from finishing it the best season. I don't know though. Do you think if they won, would they be considered the best team ever?
You can't deny that to them. I mean,
let's say this. Kevin Durant would have joined the team. Would not. Do you think?
No. If they would have won the championship that year when they went 73-9, I don't think Kevin Durant. I mean, it was considered a soft move for him to go to the Warriors anyways. And then after they win the championship, and then he goes, no, I don't think that.
Because what I was going to say was you think the 73-9 team is the best of all time, but the Kevin Durant Warriors are better than those Warriors.
Yeah,
right?
Because how
could you say that they're the best team ever when they upgraded with Kevin Durant and got better? They didn't have as many wins, obviously.
In that 73-9 season, I mean, they had a good bench. They had good role players who knew what they had to do.
And it was new. It was like how they said that Nick Foles was able to break through and win the Super Bowl because no one had that much tape on him working with Doug Peterson and all that stuff. They didn't have tape on him. So maybe Steve Kerr's system with Steph Curry and Klay Thompson, no one knew how to defend it. And then he played for Phil Jackson, and then I think it was Greg Popovich too.
Yep.
Two of the best coaches maybe of all time. And he plays for them. He comes into the Warriors. He has the best shooter, probably the best 2 shooters of all time. Creates this team that no one's ever seen before.
Yep. And that first year, boom, they win. And the second year, 73-9.
It was a good story, and then they just start winning too much, and it's like, you just get tired. But it was a good story. I remember that. Even though LeBron came off that Heat loss, he won 2, lost the Spurs, led his team to the finals I think Kevin Love wasn't there the whole time.
Yeah.
And then Kyrie got injured like the first game of the finals or something like that.
Broke his kneecap. Yeah, Kyrie broke his kneecap. I think it was the first game, right?
And
first
Dele,
game of
though. New Dele, I think, led like a win. He had like a win. Yeah, he got him.
Yeah, it was a tough series too. I remember that first Warriors championship. It was a tough series.
It was good, and LeBron had already won, and it was good. Like, good story, dude. But then they just became the enemies, dude. Yeah. What is that term? What is that saying? Like you live long enough to see yourself turn into a villain or whatever. If you're a hero, you live long enough to see yourself turn into a villain.
You either die a hero. Or you live long enough to see yourself be the villain. That was Harvey Dent.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought that was some deep stuff. I thought that was some deep quotes.
No, it was Harvey Dent.
Harvey Dent. Who wrote that movie? Was the producer? It was that good guy, right? That really good.
Christopher Nolan.
Yeah, there you go. Christopher Nolan.
Yeah. So, but that Steve Kerr story with his dad, like that's crazy, dude. His dad, he was American in Lebanon. I mean, he grew up in
40
Lebanon.
Years, right? His family or something like his parents had been there for 40 years. Like you said, he grew up. He was comfortable, super comfortable, I bet. Too comfortable, probably.
Yeah, exactly. So Steve Kerr's dad, lived in Lebanon. He studied Arabic.
Yeah, something Middle Eastern stuff.
Middle Eastern studies.
And he was probably a PhD to be the president of the university, right?
So then, he's a UCLA professor, whatever. And then he takes a job to become the American University president in Lebanon. So he got that job, and it was 3 months after the prior president got abducted.
Kidnapped, right?
Yeah.
He's probably dead. Like, they had no idea. They didn't say he was dead, but he's probably dead.
They kidnapped the previous president. Then Steve Kerr's dad, 3 months after they do that, was like, I'll take that job.
During a civil war, during a hardcore, beefy civil war.
And Steve Kerr's dad's mind, he was probably like, I've been there my whole life. I'm not really an American considered.
I'm almost hated. Like, he probably is like, I have no enemies. There's no reason for anybody to kill me or want to kill me.
He probably knew the language. He knew his way around. He's been around forever. But what his wife said was interesting. What Steve's mom said was that he visually looks like an American. Like he's just a white guy, big
white
old glasses,
hair, glasses,
visually
tall. I bet you he's a pretty tall guy. Steve Kerr's probably a pretty big guy.
Yeah.
Tall.
So visually, Steve's mom was like, visually, he just looks like an American.
Sticks out.
Regardless of him being there his whole life, regardless of him knowing the language, he looks like an American,
like a foreigner.
And at that
like
time, in the middle, I think it was 1984.
Yeah. Or I think it.
So in 84, I mean, times are rough now, but I imagine they were worse back then.
40 years ago.
So in Lebanon, I'm sure they hated all of the Americans. They thought that we were the enemy. You know, we were all devils and stuff.
Yeah. Anything to do with white people, like
Yeah.
And like if he sticks out, he's a huge guy, and then he thinks he could come over to our country and teach us and influence us with their American ideologies and stuff. It's like.
And then on top of that, Steve Kerr's dad was too comfortable, like you were saying. Like, I'm sure that all plays a role in it. He didn't have bodyguards. He didn't have no security. He walked out of his class alone. He walked around campus all
elevator,
alone.
Right? That's what they said. He was
Something
getting
like
out of the elevator or something for a meeting, and then they execute him. 2 bullets to the head, dude.
And he gets shot in the head, dude. And then he dies. And then Steve Kerr gets the news of that while on a road trip. I don't know what it was. I don't know when it was.
In his dorm. No, he said he was in his dorm at 3 a.m. and someone else answered the phone and told him.
Jeez, man.
And he didn't say it though. He choked up. He couldn't. Yeah. He couldn't say what he was told.
Steve was like, the next day I went to practice and I just practiced. And then I don't know if it was the day after, but the next game that he played was against the arch rival ASU. So Steve Kerr played his college career at the U of A, Arizona Wildcats. And then after his dad dies, the very next game is against the rivals ASU.
Arizona State.
Yeah. And ASU was chanting all sorts of horrible things.
Not everybody. Obviously not everybody. It was just a few knuckleheads in the crowd that were just saying, horrible things about his dad and chanting. I can't remember what it was. I don't even want to...
I can't remember what it was.
But whatever the case, if that's what the story was, that people were yelling at him after his dad died, who was...
Assassinated. Assassinated.
Wild, dude. And it's like you would want to think, obviously nowadays, like you were saying how in the 80s, I'm sure it was still good times, but times have gotten better. And I'm willing to bet that nowadays people would 100% be more supportive and understand, like, holy crap, he went through, I don't care if you're the arch rival. I don't care if it's like, I bet you there's some deep hated rivalries, like some deep anger. And even though something like that happens, like Ohio State or Michigan or Duke, North Carolina, if one of those players lost his dad, especially like you said, in that fashion, then there's no way nowadays they're going to say anything. Because if you do, you're going to get ousted quickly. And I bet you it was just like a group of people that were just, one person did it and then the next guy thought it was funny and then they just all went for it. And somehow the news broke, dude. I'm sure it wasn't Steve Kerr telling everybody.
Yeah, of course.
I'm sure it's somehow, I don't know how.
I mean, I'm sure the American media got their hands on it. Was like, oh,
or the coach or Lute Olson or someone is just like there that's hearing it. Like, this is ridiculous. Like, and he says, and the word spreads, and he tells this guy tells that guy, and then it just gets to the media somehow. Or maybe they could hear it themselves. Who knows?
Yeah,
but that's horrible.
They were saying all that horrible things about his dad, and ill-mannered, like
poor taste, horrible taste, dude.
Bad-spirited. Like, his dad just got assassinated, and now you're trolling
18.
him.
He's freaking a kid, dude. He's a kid.
18 years old. Just because he's on the opposite team, you're gonna troll you're gonna troll him, and it sucks. But at the same time, I'm pretty sure Steve Kerr went off, right? Like, he had
what was it? I think he had like 6 threes in the first half, made them all. Shot 6, made them all.
And that's like the most that you can do. You put yourself in Steve Kerr's position. That's what you want.
You don't want to hit the fans. You don't want to interact. You don't want to stoop to their level. They're there to watch you. You're the basketball player. You're the star. They're there because of you and your team, and obviously the home team. You're there. You're on the stage. Like, you can't meta world peace and jump over the stands and start rocking them. Even though, I mean, if that dude stood up to Michael Jordan, I'm sure Michael Jordan was not saying things about his dad. that would infuriate me. If he stood up to Michael Jordan and punched at him and did some stuff, then I'm sure he had the feelings, especially being a younger person, a younger kid with that, you know, maybe hot-headed mentality. I'm sure that he wanted to hop the stands and rock that. Maybe you don't see,
of course,
individual people, but you hear it and it's just like, oh, well, maybe sad. Maybe some people get sad. I don't know. I would probably be pissed. If you're in a game like ready mentality and a mindset like that, you're probably more angry than sad. But dude, like he's bigger than that, dude. And the story broke.
He did what he had to do. He put in work on the court.
Yeah, he let his game talk for him. He was like, dude, I'm not gonna.
He put in work. U of A won. He had 20 plus points, 6 threes. Like he went off. He did what he had to do, and I guess moved on. The crazy thing too is how they also mentioned in the Last Dance how Steve Kerr never once mentioned to Michael Jordan about, or even talked about their dads, because Michael Jordan's dad,
fashion.
Yeah, like, Michael Jordan's dad got killed too, and Steve Kerr's dad got killed. So that's like a big thing that I'm sure both of them knew about each other, right? Like
and when it happened, let's say, but Jordan retired, right? Jordan retired after his dad got shot, and then Steve Kerr was put on the team after.
Yeah, right. Mm-hmm. That's right. But it's interesting, like how those kind of conversations that we would think would be like the first kind of things that they would talk about. Steve was like, no, I'm never mentioned to it, never talked about it. And he explained it pretty well. He was like, Steve was like, well, it's things that we don't really want to talk about. Like it's hard to talk about. Like
exactly. It's like, it's too hard. And then maybe what I'm thinking is he's Michael Jordan. If he's in a good mood or angry or whatever, he's in this certain state of mind and you bring up his father and maybe not blocking it out or putting it in the back of his mind, but he was just trying his best not to think about it because he's Michael Jordan. If he's at all off his game, even on the court or off the court, if he's off, they're going to notice, they're going to destroy him on the press, blah, blah, blah. And maybe he tries to just not think about it as much. And if Steve Kerr walks up to him and says something like, I don't know, you would imagine he would say something like, you know, I know what you're going through. Like, if you want to talk about your dad, like I lost my dad too when I was young or whatever. I'm sure Jordan probably knew.
Yeah.
And, but it's Michael Jordan, right? Like, it's not just like
anybody
friend
else.
or like someone you heard about, and then you're like, crap, dude, maybe I should go
reach out to
tell him, like relate to him and tell him what I went through and how I got better.
It's different.
Did.
Everything's different when it comes to Michael Jordan.
Michael Jordan.
Everything's different. I mean, he's a GOAT, right? He's a GOAT, right?
Dude.
I mean, LeBron's making a case for himself too, dude. LeBron definitely, I mean, MJ's got the more championships.
Obviously, and LeBron won't reach 6, dude. Max,
I don't think I
see 4, lucky 5. If he gets 5 though, and
that'd
the
be
stats he puts up, he's going to be on every single list at the top. Assist, not going to reach Stockton. He's probably going to be like 2 or 3 or 4.
Stockton is ridiculous. Yeah, John Stockton with the assist.
Well, that's why Carl, right? That's why Carl's the second best.
Yeah, exactly.
John Stockton has like 3,000 more than the second place person.
Yeah, John Stockton's number 1 in assists, and because he dished it to Karl Malone, and then that turned Karl Malone into the second
best scorer.
Into the second.
That mid-range Jimmy dude, that little move. Yeah, he was money.
Yep.
He was money, but I mean, rebounds, who's the top? I don't know, but he's obviously not going to be better than like
Wilt Chamberlain's probably number 1.
Yeah, because he averaged like what, 50 or like 20 or 30. I can't remember. There was some crazy number that he had. The most rebounds in a game, I think, was him with 50 or something like that. Something wild.
And I think he averaged like 25 boards a game.
Yeah, it's probably him. And I'm assuming they are definitely big men who have rebounded more than LeBron overall. But he's obviously probably has more longevity than them. And I mean, he's consistently
he's
going
to be top 5 in
everything. Yeah.
In those
points,
3,
he's probably going to be 1. He's 3rd right now, right?
He is, 3rd.
So all he needs, and I'm sure he's 40, he's 35 right now, another 5 years. He's probably going to play past 40.
He hasn't even declined, though. That's the thing, dude.
LeBron, he's going up. Like, he's leading the league in dishes.
Yeah. He's not declining.
And it's not like he didn't have too many players to pass it to. Like, not that, like Kyrie, I don't know. I guess Kyrie was more of a facilitator, but he was a scorer too.
Oh, yeah. Kyrie
and
was a scorer.
But Davis more of that, like, big man. Like, Shaq was washed. He was not going to dish it to Shaq. Yeah, that's a good one. Dwayne Wade.
Chris Bosh.
But also Dwayne Wade gave it to him, and Chris Bosh isn't that dominant as Davis. Davis can just score like crazy. Davis is so versatile, especially like his game has developed so crazy where he can pop from anywhere.
And that brings up a good point.
Dishes, that's why he's probably leading it.
Right, there was that thing that we saw where LeBron has played with more all-stars.
Way more. It was like
Michael
50
Jordan.
Compared to like 12. It was like Scotty. I don't know if Dennis was probably on there like once or twice.
Scotty, Dennis, Horace Grant.
There you go. Horace Grant and
Armstrong might have been on BJ Armstrong.
That's probably it, dude. Harper, Steve Kerr, Luke Longley, no one. Nobody.
Yeah, Charles Oakley.
Tony Kukoc, maybe.
Tony
Kukoc is probably an all-star that year Jordan didn't play, I bet. Like, since they were the one that year that they said they did really good. And Scott, like the first year when he left, not the next year because they did bad, but that year I heard Kukoc did good and Phil Jackson did really good coaching. So maybe that year, but it's a huge gap, dude.
Yeah, I mean, and then LeBron, you have Chris Bosh,
Dwayne Wade,
Kevin Love.
Who else? Amon Shumpert, J.R. Smith. I bet you have some all-stars.
Zytrudis Ilgauskas.
Dooku.
But he's got two.
Pretty good.
I think he's got two all-stars.
Was Verjao? Nah, fuck Verjao.
I don't think Verjao got any.
There's not really else I can think of.
But in terms of like
Kyle Korver,
because let's say Scottie Pippen gets 10 all-star teams. 10 all-star teams. Dennis Rodman gets 2 or 3. Who else?
BJ Armstrong
gets
Kukoc
1 or 2.
Or something.
Horace Grant gets 1 or 2. Kukoc gets 1 or 2. And then you look at LeBron's teammates where Dwayne Wade's got like 15. Chris Bosh has got 15.
Like 10. Ray
Anthony
Allen.
Davis.
We forgot about Ray Allen, bro.
Now Dwight Howard's on the Lakers.
That's a good point. That dude's got like 10.
Yeah,
11.
So it's...
Kyrie's probably on his way.
MJ played with less talent,
for sure,
I will say, but there were super teams that were created to defeat LeBron at the same time.
But he started that super team, though.
He did start it.
What's crazier is definitely 2 MVPs on the Warriors.
Yeah.
If you were to say at the time the 3 best players in the world was LeBron, KD, 1-2. Probably Steph Curry.
At that time,
who was Steph unanimous MVP.
The first unanimous MVP. The only.
Two out of the 3 are on the same team, and they're definitely attacking one. Like, they're 100% joined forces to get at that number 1. And
so that's the thing right there. It's like, LeBron doesn't have as many championships, but at the same time, Michael Jordan defeated Karl Malone. He got
Stockton,
Charles Barkley,
Penny, and like even on the way to the finals, you dealt with Penny, the Pistons,
Isaiah Thomas,
the Celtics. I'm sure he played one year.
Larry
I think
Bird.
He played the Lakers maybe a year in the finals. Swept them. I think they swept the Lakers.
Magic and Kareem. Yeah.
Who else? The Suns, the Cavs. Mark Price was whatever. Reggie Miller seemed like he gave him a tough outing.
In the documentary, Michael was like, Reggie Miller, that Pacers team was the toughest team we faced. So, I mean, they both faced ridiculous amount of
the Blazers, I think Clyde also they played in the finals, I think.
Yep, that's right. So, they both faced, very talented teams, but, I mean, nothing like Kevin Durant, Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, Draymond Green.
They got swept. They got lucky to win that one game where they shot a ridiculous amount of threes. I think it was the most threes in finals history, even playoff history.
Was that the year that...
was the KD.
Was that the year where J.R. Smith was like, oh...
No. That was the next year. The first year is just straight up Kevin Durant. They got to game. It was 2-0, and then they went to... Game 3 in Cleveland, and Kevin Durant, like the Cleveland was up, and they came back, and Kevin Durant shot that 3, and everyone just shut up.
Oh yeah, I remember.
And then after that, I think the Cavs got lucky, won the next game. They probably went back to San Francisco, and they lost. The next year was the same thing. No. The next year was game 1. It was game 1 of the finals in Oakland or in San Francisco. And that's when it happened because they were up the whole time. LeBron was smoking them that game because they was the same team. I think Kyrie was gone.
No.
The second year or was it the third year? No, it was the second year.
No.
Are you sure? No.
I think every year.
Dude, no, you're wrong. One year he led them without Kyrie.
Maybe you're right. That was that year he got the triple-double?
He left with the Celtics. Where LeBron was still on the Cavs.
He averaged a triple-double, right?
And lost. That year, I don't think, let's say that was the shot, right? I don't know. At the end, it was like an end-of-the-game situation where JR got the free throw. He got the rebound and didn't put it up because they thought they were winning. I think they would have given it to Kyrie, or I don't know. Kyrie was not on that team.
Yeah, I think you're right.
I don't think so.
I'm trying to picture it now, and I can only see LeBron
just the meme, and if they would have won that game 1 now thinking about it, I think that's what a lot of people said. But after that, it was done. It was 3-0 and they got swept, straight swept. But if they would have split going into Cleveland 1-1,
who knows?
And then if he was able to turn on the Jets game 1, why can't he do it at home game 3? So.
Yeah, who knows?
That would have changed, dude. But then it went to overtime, right? That's what happened. I think they were tied when JR thought they were winning. Overtime, and the Warriors
won. Yeah.
And then it just destroyed the Cavs. They probably tried so hard to just get up on them. Oh my gosh, game 1 of the finals, just to do that. And then a horrible mistake destroys your emotion and your soul
and your confidence and everything.
And then and then it's Kevin Durant and Steph Curry and Klay Thompson.
They're not going to miss
best shooters of all time. 3 of the best shooters of all time.
They're not missing threes.
And it was the same thing though. I think it was game 3 too.
Yeah,
they got
KD
the 2-0 and then the same thing. Boom, another KD shot. The same spot, I want to say. Ended it again. And then the next game they didn't win another one and then lost.
And then LeBron goes to the Lakers. And
that year crapped out.
And now it's they could have, LeBron could have got another one. It would have been
so, everybody was saying that. Remember how exciting it was? Kevin Durant left. Kyrie joined him, but they were injured. The Warriors had no Klay Thompson. They knew the Warriors were done. The Bucks, the Russell Westbrook joins James Harden. Paul George and Kawhi, the whole year was going to be just crazy, and it was. The Clippers and Lakers were, I think, 1 and 2. The Bucks were number 1. The Raptors didn't really lose a step. Obviously, they lost Kawhi, but they were doing good. I don't know who else was coming out of the East. The Celtics, I don't think were doing that great. The Sixers are always probably going to be deadly, but most likely they probably wouldn't have made it.
And now coronavirus.
And then, pause. And it's just stop.
And I think at this point, it would be the conference finals right now. I think.
Dude, in June. I think it's June when the finals happen. Early June.
Kawhi versus LeBron right now. The Clippers versus the Lakers.
And the Bucks probably versus the 76ers, the Celtics, or the Heat were whatever. I don't know. Not the Heat. Probably the 76ers, Raptors, Celtics,
We
Bucks.
went off on that. We were just going on MJ versus LeBron, and then we started a little spew off of the NBA season right now.
Man, dude, you're right. It would have been tight to see it going on right now, but I mean, maybe it was just meant to be. Who knows when they come back? Are they going to be better, worse? Is it going to be a lower level of basketball, a more is everyone working out right now and working on their game and is getting prepared for when the season starts, or is everyone slacking and just waiting for the time to go by and just hoping that they're going to get news? Because there's no news. I think that something came out a little bit ago that the NBA was starting to make plans to reopen, but no date, not even a time frame. I bet nothing like that. But I'm sure it's soon. But I don't know how all the states work. It's all different. If California says no and Arizona says yes, then it's not like everybody's going to pile up in one state
at the same time too.
And so they probably something, hopefully, I don't know. I don't want to pick a side on open the country, not open the country, but I mean, it should be almost unanimous. I know all the states have different needs and wants and certain necessities that is different from New York and California, all the states. But
I mean, if you think about it, the whole country closed at the same time,
Yeah,
right?
I guess you're right. You're right. And everybody had to quickly make a plan. If you wanted to stay open, you had to make a plan and change everything and make proper precautions and stuff. But I mean, maybe you're right. If they were able to shut down as one, maybe they can reopen as one, but it's not as simple, I think.
Yeah.
Like, it was maybe such a scare and such a shock to close it that everybody was just following suit. Everybody was just monkey see, monkey do, close. We were going to wait and see what happens. And then I'm sure the government came out. Like, I probably remember. I'm sure they said some certain stuff that calmed certain people down. Like, they're like, okay, well, you can continue. I don't know. But.
Yep. And now we can't watch the finals. We can't watch the conference finals. We can't watch the NBA finals. We got to put a hold on that. But the good thing, though, that we can watch is a Michael Jordan documentary. Yeah. So that came out at a perfect time. I mean, they bumped it up, right? It was supposed to be in June. It didn't seem
sped up. I was worried that it was going to seem maybe rushed, but what were they doing wanting a date that deep, bro? If they were this ready like that, that was for sure. Like, I don't know, if you wanted the full story, like there were some things they didn't talk about. Like, I heard that, I don't know, they were saying certain stories that Dennis Rodman was partying, but there was another one that I think some dude on Joe Rogan was talking about. It was like some rock star, and he said that he was partying with Dennis Rodman when Michael Jordan had the flu game. And I don't think the documentary spoke about him he said that day he was in like Vegas doing all this stuff. He went to, or not that day, like a little bit before the flu game, he was in Vegas partying with some rock star, and then he came back to practice with that rock star, and Dennis told him, he's like, yo, let's go back. And he's like, go back where? He's like, let's go back to Vegas. And then after practice, boom, took a private jet. I guess he was saying that Rodman was friends with like a billionaire and who was flying him out privately in some jet to Vegas to, I don't know, probably party with him or something. And yep, after practice, went out. I don't know, Michael Jordan apparently ate some food poison pizza, or
that's what it was.
Maybe not food poison, but poison. Who knows? Some Utah Jazz fans, some freaking, and 5 people came to deliver this not suspicious pizza.
The funny thing is the delivery guy came out recently, like the actual guy who made the pizza, supposedly, right? Allegedly, who really knows. Yeah. Exactly. Somebody came out and said, I made that pizza.
Was me.
I made that pizza, and he was like, that's bullshit. I created this pizza the exact way it's supposed to be made. Like, I didn't put anything on the side. That's what he came out and said that. Some guy who really knows.
I said it was bullshit when I was watching it. I was like, Michael Jordan, the GOAT himself. What was Reggie Miller calling him? Black Jesus, dude. The God, like a God amongst men. And he's going to eat a pizza. The Chicago Bulls. This isn't like, I don't know, the 60s, the 50s. This is the 90s. There's no way that the Chicago 90s. Bulls couldn't figure something out.
Make a sandwich.
Like, even if he wants a pizza, like, it's, I don't know, make him a pizza. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Do something. I'm sure in the finals, like, I'm sure you can do something for the GOAT himself. Instead of giving him some raunchy pizza from Salt Lake, like...
Yeah, that story seemed a little fishy,
right?
To be
like,
honest.
I was like, dude, pizza, like...
It seemed fishy.
And of course he gets sick from pizza.
The trainer before Mike ate it. Yeah, before Mike ate it, the trainer was like, ooh.
And no one took a slice.
I don't know.
I took a slice.
And nobody else ate the pizza.
If I was within Michael Jordan's vicinity, I was in his entourage or I was his team manager, whatever. If I was something with Michael Jordan, he was like, yo, get me a pizza. And I got him a pizza. Obviously, he's probably not going to eat it all. If he did, that's probably why he got sick. But
yeah, he said he ate the whole pizza. Nobody else had any.
Like,
it sounds fishy, dude.
And then if they got sick, if some security guard or some dude was just like, I took a slice and I was crapping my brains out, dude. I was puking like him too. But it was just Jordan.
Nobody else touched it. Nobody else took a bite.
He woke up spewing chunks.
Sounds fishy,
But someone had a good point. Someone was like, if he was hungover, I saw some tweet that said if he was hungover, well, I don't know, I think it was fake. Someone criticized it, but the tweet was that if he was hungover and he had a game in the finals like late at night, it's not going to be early. It's going to be prime time at like 5, 6, late at night. If he truly was hungover, then he had to be drinking at like 6 in the morning or 7 in the morning.
Or to still be hungover.
But then someone criticized him and said that, oh, how nice it is to be 20. Like how nice, like a 20-year-old would be able to recover like that. Or a 20-year-old thinks like that. Like, oh, to be hungover like that late in the day, you probably have to be drinking so all night and then go to bed or whatever. But I bet you, yeah, like a 30-year-old, 40-year-old is like, dude, I stopped drinking at 9 and I wake up all day and the next day and I feel like garbage.
Yeah.
But, you know, he's Michael Jordan.
Exactly.
He's freaking built like a tank. He's one of his genes. He's puffing cigars. I'm thinking like, too, dude, he's that type of guy, you know, those dudes who live to be like 110, who was drinking whiskey and puffing cigars. I have no idea. Jordan is 50 years before he hits probably 100, but dude, like I think he's that guy, bro.
Yeah,
I think he's just gonna puff long old Long John cigars,
some
dude.
Winston's,
puffing them and drinking, and stressing himself out. Like he said, he was tired. Who he was, dude. I bet you that's exactly what he was thinking. Like the exhaust, just mentally and physically. And then he was just the last episode, he won the championship, and he was just saying like, dude, I was done with it all. Like I was just completely...
he has to be always on the court, off the court. He has to be on point.
Michael Jordan. That's what Steve Kerr was saying too. He's like he couldn't live a normal life because he's Michael Jordan. It's not possible for him.
Yeah, he can do it.
God, dude, he's a phenomenon. It's like, dude, there's no way.
And that brings you back to the question: is LeBron James better than Michael Jordan?
LeBron is a better person. Then, like someone said, that I can't remember. Someone currently in the league, I think, said that if Michael was in there, he wouldn't be able to, because no one would pay attention to him. No one would agree like they would.
I think it was Channing Frye.
That's right. But that was stupid, though. I think he got criticized for it. I can't remember. The full quote was dumb. I think he said some really stupid stuff.
Yeah. He said that a player... At this point in time, like if Michael Jordan was now...
He said something about all he does is score. He was like, all he does is get points. A player like that, no one would be able to play with him. It's like, dude, no way. Like, I'm thinking personality. If LeBron James had the same personality and was yelling at people, choking Kyle Korver, freaking yelling at Kyrie Irving, poor Kevin Love is already depressed.
He'd have 20 championships.
He's already depressed, and LeBron James is out there roasting him.
Yeah, LeBron would have 20 championships.
Because, I mean, he is body, dude. One-on-one, LeBron would take him. Prime, right? Some people say no. Actually, that's a good point. I don't know, right? Man, I don't know. I think Jordan's better. I'll say that right now. I think Jordan's better. Everything. But...
I don't know. LeBron's
body
LeBron's
and handles. If Jordan had LeBron's body, no, dude, Jordan's better. If Jordan had his body, Jordan would be absurd.
He'd average 45 points.
He'd be absurd. He already is ridiculous. 37 points his third year in the league. He averaged. Against tough dude, like the only way you can.
And that was in the 80s with Magic was in his prime.
Like the only way was in his beat up. Tough D, tough everything, and he's dropping 37 points, third year in the league. Man, dude, I don't know. LeBron is a better person. He has that school opening up.
He has more rebounds, more assists. He's a better rebounder, better assist. Like LeBron's gonna finish top 5 in those top 3 categories.
Not a ridiculous scorer. He's never had like a ridiculous game where he scored like 60, 70 points. I think the most he scored is probably like mid 50s.
Yeah, I don't know.
But I mean. No, dude.
The thing is Michael Jordan has only played 15 seasons. He only played 15 seasons. And LeBron is at a 17th season right now. So LeBron's got those extra 2 years on him, on top of the 2 years that MJ played baseball. And then after he retired the second time in 98, he spent, I think it was 3 years off, and then came back and played on the Wizards. And those was an extra 2. So before he played on the Wizards, he had played 13 seasons only. 13.
And then some tacky seasons with the Wizards.
2 extra seasons with the Wizards. Yeah,
so in 13 seasons, pretty much, in, let's say, 8, like what, dude? 6 out of 8, like...
Yeah.
That's wild. And if you just take LeBron's 8 straight finals, 3 out of 8, and like what you were saying, he played baseball. He lost those 2. He didn't lose those 2.
Yeah.
He wasn't playing during those 2. He did lose to the Magic. Penny and Shaq were a hot team, super talented. Horace, Nick Anderson, super good team.
I mean, and that was MJ came off of the baseball.
Yeah.
He physically wasn't in shape for basketball. He was physically in shape
He's not
for
a kid.
baseball.
Like kids do that. Kids are
Yeah.
able to play baseball, be the best player in baseball, be the best basketball player, football. Like kids are able to do that because their bodies are just probably different and more agile. But
And plus, they don't already have kind of like the mannerisms, like the kind of mentality already developed, like the physical. What's that
muscle
called?
tone of
Like
Jordan, like
what's that called? Where you know something second nature. Like it's second nature
Yeah.
for him to be this way, and then you change things up, and then you got to go back to how you were. Like little kids don't have that second nature developed, and MJ did. And even though he spent those 2 years off, wasn't doing basketball, came back. He still went to the Eastern Conference Finals that first year, lost to Penny and Shaq, and then that very next year, I think is when they went the 70-10 or 72-10.
no,
Yeah.
I don't think. Do you think it was that next year? I think it was.
I think it was
might be right.
95,
And
96.
Swept them, bro. Came back and swept the Magic.
72-10, came back.
Recording Space Jam. I think it was that Space Jam. That's what he said all summer. Horace, I think it was Horace that said, is like, I know, knowing Michael, he was thinking about the Magic the whole summer.
Yep.
And that was crazy. I like that story, dude. At Space Jam in the studios. I don't know if it was Hollywood studio. I think it was. They built him a own like bubble to practice ball.
Yep.
And what
he
we're
invited
saying,
players.
the best players, Reggie, Patrick, everybody was there. The best of the best was playing against him. And he said he was able to take notes, see everybody, how they play, how they do things. And like, I don't know what we're saying about Michael or LeBron. LeBron's recorded movies. He's going to do Space Jam,
He's doing Space Jam right now, right?
He has off the court projects. I can't remember. I think during his season, he had something where people were getting mad at him. I think he released something during the season where people, I can't remember.
Was it the barbershop stuff? Where
Maybe.
he would like talk of like
Something
barbershop
like
talk?
that. I can't remember. Something. So he is doing stuff off the court like Jordan, but I don't know. Obviously, his movies suck right now. I think he did an Amy Schumer movie. Which was
Train
whatever.
wreck. Yeah, train
Yeah,
wreck.
Train was whatever.
He
Not
only
no
had like a
Space
little
Jam.
thing in there. Like it was only like
Yeah,
one
it
scene.
probably wasn't him. He's produced some other stuff, which doesn't probably mean anything. You just throw some money at him. But I guess we'll see. I don't think though LeBron would, if he's recording Space Jam, I don't think he'd do that. Like I don't think he'd be that way.
Who knows, right?
He maybe LeBron would put his energy into everything, like a school. He probably spent a lot of time stressing himself, thinking about how he's going to open that school, what's he going to do, and
Wasn't
I don't
like
know.
focused on basketball at the same time.
Yeah, but yeah, he can. I'm not saying obviously he can freaking multitask. I bet you he's smart. Not only is he athletic, he's super smart. He knows what he can handle, but I bet that
Like, because MJ, they were talking about how he would spend the entire morning, right, filming. He would spend morning. I don't even think
that's
it was
hard. I bet actors will tell you. Dude,
It was
that
like the
shit is
morning
tough.
and the afternoon until like 4 o'clock or whatever. Took a break and then came back and worked out
Probably
and played with
dunking
everybody.
over and over again, doing the scene over and over and over again with fake Bugs Bunny, like over a shot, do this, do that, dribble here, I like this better. Crazy.
And now LeBron's doing that right now too with Space Jam 2. So like it's gonna bring it all the way back.
Yeah.
Like MJ or LeBron, who's it gonna be?
Okay, Space Jam original is gonna be better no matter what. Guaranteed already. Space Jam original will be better.
Just because it was like the first of its kind.
Not the
it was-
graphics, not the production, not the audio.
Just
Just
'cause-
they're probably cool actors. Because the players they got for Space Jam, I was thinking was garbage. They got
I think it was
Spud
Patrick
Webb.
Ewing. No, Muggsy
No,
Bogues.
Muggsy Bogues. Yeah, there you go. Mix them up. Muggsy Bogues. I think it was Ostertag, some tall ass fool. There's some really tall
Bradley,
people.
Sean Bradley,
Charles though. Charles was there.
Charles Oakley, Patrick Ewing.
Charles Oakley or was it Barkley?
I mean, you're
Barkley,
right. Barkley, yeah. Charles Barkley, Patrick Ewing, Sean Bradley, Muggsy Bogues. That might be it. I can't think
Space
of anybody
Jam
else.
2 better get the best players in the league. Who knows if KD's willing to do something like that, but Kawhi, probably no. Steph Curry's probably a yes. Kyrie, probably no.
Yeah. Who knows what he's going to have? Who knows?
I don't know.
Not
it's
much,
a dumb comparison, but
not much
it's
has
not
been
gonna be the
released.
same. It's not going to be the same
Yeah, it's
story,
hard.
right? Same plot. You can't do that. You can. They have been. Obviously, Lion King, all the new Disney movies, Lady and the Tramp, they're making new ones and with the same storyline, but I don't know if I get the same feeling. Like I wouldn't want to watch a Space Jam with Bugs Bunny and LeBron James is the only difference. Like,
yeah,
I wouldn't want to see that.
Like I think they do. I think you're right. They do have to like rewrite the script. Like just do a new thing.
Yeah.
Like do just like a complete new thing, but also include obviously Bugs Bunny, include the Looney Tunes squad. But it's got to be different. It can't be the same script.
Because the Disney stuff is live action. It's like this was animation and now live action.
Yeah,
different, cooler. It looks way better. The views are real. Everything looks real. But you can't, like, I mean, I don't want to see a real Bugs Bunny. Bugs Bunny can't get, like, he's going to be anime no matter what.
Yeah, they can't do a remake. Nothing much, surprisingly, has been released about that, or nothing has been really talked about it.
But it's probably going to look fresh. Whoever LeBron plays, the Monstars or whoever he plays, is probably going to be, like, a scary opponent. And LeBron's like a big guy.
Yeah, graphics are going to look good. Everything's going to look good. CGI, everything.
The production, I'm sure LeBron's going to get some good team put together to be able to, put this movie.
Yeah. So we'll see though, but it's just going to always, like, they're always going to be connected. Like who's better, MJ or LeBron? Like what's it going to be? You guys decide. You let us know who's the winner. You let us know. Send us a video.
What do you think, dude? Yeah, what do you think? Obviously, I'm sure there's a bunch of people that are Team LeBron, bunch of people that are Team Jordan. I would say I'm Team Jordan, but there's both sides.
See it both sides.
But, dude, I don't know. Like, the championships, 30 points in his career.
It's tough. But
tough sell, right?
Yeah.
Tough argument, I think, for LeBron people, because you have to say maybe what he said. He beat the best team of the best record of all time, the 73-9 Warriors, came back 3-1, although Jordan never let it get to 7.
Yeah,
only
in the
6
finals.
in the finals. But that's still, I don't think any player has ever done that. All playoffs.
Multiple times. 6 times. Like 6 finals he's been in.
Kobe was in 7 with the Celtics. I think he was in 7 with some other teams.
Yeah. But you decide. You let us know. Send us a video. Then, who's better? MJ, LeBron. Let us know. But going from that, switching that. But sticking on LeBron, there was something that came up too recently where LeBron's going to produce a movie that Adam Sandler is going to.
That's right.
Yeah, so he's going to produce a movie. Adam Sandler's going to be the star, and it's going to be called Hustle. And Adam Sandler plays. These are just like very minor things that they've released because
there's some details, basic details.
Yeah, I don't even think they've started the production of it yet because of the pandemic, because of things that are going on. They just said that it's going to be a movie.
Plans,
LeBron's going to produce
these
it.
are the plans for the future. This is what's going on later.
Yeah, Adam Sandler's going to play like a NBA scout who got fired and then wrongfully fired, I think I read. Like it was unjust or whatever, he gets fired. And then he finds a player overseas. He's trying to, tell the NBA, this guy deserves a spot on the NBA as well as me. I found him. I scouted him.
I deserve a scout.
Yeah,
like some team get me, hire me.
Yeah, give me my job back. So that's going to be the essence of what that movie's going to be about. So again, it brings back, kind of LeBron's off the court kind of things that he's done. Yeah, projects, production. So he's going to produce it. Adam Sandler's going to star in it. I mean, I'm sure they're both going to produce it because Adam Sandler has a Billy Madison, or is it
Happy Madison Productions?
Madison. Yeah,
maybe, but I don't know if Happy Madison had anything to do with like Uncut Gems. So I'm getting the feeling that that's maybe what they're trying to go for. They're going to keep that Uncut Gems character like alive. That crookie Adam Sandler, that little
was a
dude.
Good
yeah,
movie.
he played it super well. He was a crook, dude. He was a straight. Took Kevin's Garnett ring after getting, like 5 minutes after getting it, pawns it, dude. He's like, pawn it, bam. Give me whatever money I want. Pawn that crap, dude.
Yeah, if you haven't seen Uncut Gems, you should have.
Yeah, so good, dude. It was so good, dude. Yeah, he played it. He killed it.
Yeah, he killed that role. It was a very good movie.
No one else too. The Weeknd was like said to be in the movie. Kevin Garnett was said to be in the movie. Nah, dude. It was Adam Sandler's the whole movie was him, dude.
He carried it. He was the star. Like, he was the guy. It was definitely an Adam Sandler, but it's a different Adam Sandler that you're accustomed different.
And it wasn't like, it was serious, but not that, like, you know, the character he played was just like, dude, man, it was good. It was really good. And if that's what LeBron is going for in Hustle, like, obviously you don't want to completely rip it off and have Adam Sandler do the same exact thing and be this crook kind of guy who's gonna sell out like some baby's organs just for a quick check.
Yeah, just like, for some cash.
I don't know, like, just to get in the NBA from I'm getting from it, you know, if a NBA scouts who got fired, then unjustly, supposedly, it's what he thinks, right? It probably was justified, but in Adam Sandler's mind, it wasn't.
That's just, you know, the little things. Who knows?
Maybe he's going to be like a good guy instead. Maybe he's going to be like that good guy who just should be given the shot, and he's so talented enough. He sees this player or whatever overseas, and he's just like, hey, and he can't convince him because he has a horrible like credibility, has a bad record or something.
He's not an NBA scout.
And then he finally, like, it shoves him in his face. And bam, dude, kind of like Moneyball. But Moneyball is real, I guess. But like that dude, what's his name? The athletics guy.
Oh, yeah, I can't remember his name.
I was going to say Brad Pitt, but that's the actor. Oh, man, I can't remember his name.
Like actual athletics guy.
What is his name?
The actual athletics GM. He's still around,
right? Buster, or no, not Buster. Dude, crap, dude, it's going to eat away at me.
I don't know.
Butterbean Butterbean's the Bad News Bears.
No, that's Buttermaker.
Buttermaker, baseball related, but it's
Butterbean is like the
Butterbean is the boxer, the big guy who beat up Johnny Knoxville. He was I've seen some highlights. He's monster, but man, dude, Bean, gosh, I can't remember his name, dude.
Yeah, but he's still around, right?
Athletics he's GM? Still coaching. He's still the GM. But I'm saying what I was saying about Moneyball, that guy he hired is kind of like that. Like, he brought him in. Like he had this whole new system. Yeah.
The Jonah Hill character.
Whole new system, analytics, numbers. I don't care about your skills, your whatever. As long as you give me this average, give me this amount of hits, you're good. You don't have, like, injured. He was getting injured players who they thought couldn't produce anymore. And he was able to just, hey, do this for me, do that. Switching players around, like, play this position.
He did strange things that nobody's ever done.
And then the Red Sox came calling from Billy Bean.
Yeah, that's what I looked it up just now. Billy Bean. I was about to tell you. His name is Billy Bean. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I just came to me. But... yeah, and then, you know, he's this whole new system that everybody thinks is foreign. That's like, you remember that table? Brad Pitt was just telling him, like, hey, give me your players. And then he's like, none of these guys are on my list. Yeah. And then he starts like, who? They were like, this guys that you want? It's like, Billy, you are.
Yeah, you're crazy. But then hey, one guy was like,
I'm in charge, bro.
Yeah, and one guy was like, he's got the final decision. All that we can do is just give him suggestions.
Yeah, that's your job. My job is to make the final decision. And he brought in this nerdy, glassy, kind of chubby
Jonah
dude.
Hill.
Analytics. He's got these numbers, a computer, and it's completely different from what these like baseball old people, these old classic guys were thinking. And man, and it took, dude, it almost, I want to say now thinking about it, analytics just took over all sports almost. Football, it's a little bit hard to, because it's all different. I think football is like more like in the moment, like it's more play by play, like chess, like that's what they say. The head coaches are just trying to get open spots on this defense, because the defense is always really good. So you're just trying to find open spots.
It's more like plays. Reaction. You're reacting to what the other team has.
Baseball.
And baseball's pure numbers.
Yeah, exactly. Pure numbers. Dude. All numbers, all of it. Getting on base, how many times you hit the ball, how much times you strike out. It's all numbers. What pitch, like this pitch is your favorite. You like hitting this spot. In this spot, you hit this amount of times or whatever.
Yeah. So it's all numbers. So analytics definitely took that over. And Billy Bean was like the OG for it. Like, he started it all. He was the one that kind of brought analytics into the
dude. He didn't win the ship. Still hasn't. But he's gotten close. And he's had really good teams and good records. And definitely he had that winning streak, right? That's what the movie was kind of about, that huge winning streak.
They don't have the money that the Yankees do. So.
Oh, yeah, exactly, dude. They're doing it with literally like probably a tenth of what the Yankees get. That's crazy. And that's why I think probably everybody would start listening to analytics and systems like that, because they're like, hey, these guys are on a dime and they're making it to the
playoffs, everything.
Championship series.
Yeah. But yeah. So from there, what do you want? You want to go to Zion Williamson getting paid? That's something else that got brought up to the news recently,
the Duke
right?
Guys, I think they're so holy and they're so clean,
especially Duke. Especially with Duke being,
they're so high class. The Duke of the medicine, dude, they're so very not pretentious. That's kind of an insulting, but they're very elitist almost.
Elite.
They're
elitist. They're elitist.
A+. And they think they're hot stuff, dude. And their freaking coach, who's the best coach of all time, bunch of Final Fours, built that program. Easily it was him.
Oh, yeah.
He's been there 40 years. Mm-hmm. And he's a cheater.
Yep. Allegedly.
But you start to think, okay, well then how is Kentucky competing with Duke? If Duke is cheating, then how is Kentucky getting better players some years? How is Kansas getting certain better players some years? If Duke is the only one paying, why are other players going to Kentucky?
Yeah,
going to Kansas.
Bringing it up to something else, you're going to tell me that Zion Williamson, being the best player in high school, clearly being the best player in high school, is going to choose Duke, is going to go to Duke for free, while other schools are offering $100,000, giving the parents a house, doing this. That Zion Williamson's going to go play for Duke for free? Are
you serious?
That doesn't no. When other coaches or other
doing
teams
that
are offering,
kind of.
It's nah, man. How there's no chance. It's money, dude. Yeah. Money runs the world. Money talks.
It's not a contract. It's just it seems like it's a secret contract, right? That no one knew about. And then the people that signed it said that Zion breached his contract.
Right.
But Zion he said he did something too. He defended himself
I can't remember what it was, but I know that Zion originally, it's a marketing agency.
He signed it too. They said that he willingly signed the contract.
So Zion is suing that marketing agency. I can't remember what the reason why he's suing them, but he's suing them. And then the marketing agency's oh, you trying to sue us?
Oh, yeah?
You trying to sue us? Okay. Well, we'll countersuit you. So we're going to bring out the truth.
And they're allegedly, you signed this contract
allegedly the truth.
Willingly. You got what you wanted and you breached it. We did everything on our end. You breached the contract. It's your fault, even though it's an illegal contract. Should have never happened in the regular world, in a perfect world. But man, dude, like you said, money runs everything. I'm sure football is the same thing, if not worse. There's more players to look at, more people to scout,
and it's a bigger money.
Talent,
football's bigger money. They make more money than basketball.
I am absolutely sure that football programs are giving fat old checks to players as well. And
absolutely,
I mean, it's Zion, and it's you go with the times. How has Mike Krzyzewski stayed this long? I'm sure that he wasn't doing it the whole time. Who knows? Grant Hill, JJ Redick, Leitner, who knows? I'm sure Leitner didn't take a check because he's probably rich. He's probably a well-off dude before. And I'm sure that's what they were saying about Grant Hill, right? I think in the Fab Five documentary that he was this neighborhood dude, that Duke
was a part of the
look
Huxtables.
At Jalen. They wouldn't look at a dude from Detroit. They look at Grant Hill, this dude I think Grant Hill his dad played, right, or something. He's probably
I don't know,
well-off guy, and they're cheaters.
Yeah,
and Duke, I bet you their fans are just in denial.
Oh yeah,
I bet you they're super just dude.
Complete denial.
The class of basketball. We are
elite.
The prime.
We're number one. Yeah.
Dude. And then but again, everyone's doing it. Zion would have went to another school had he gotten a bigger check, I'm sure. And he's not just because he's a smiley Zion on draft day, he cries with his mom. Just because he seems like a good guy, it doesn't mean he's not going to take a hefty check from someone else when he shouldn't. It's illegal.
But at the same time, you can't really blame him. know?
exactly. If
everyone's
you're Zion
doing it,
and you're playing high school ball with all these people watching you and you're not getting a dime,
and then people that are worse than you are getting money.
give me that check.
Yeah, exactly. So it's
Secret though.
I mean, if everyone's doing it, then it's not really allegedly like he took that money, man. He took it.
Yeah.
Well, you can't blame him. You know, it's the part of the game. Everybody knows that
Sexton,
it's hush
Colin
hush.
Sexton did it. Bama, LSU got caught, fired their coach. Arizona's on the list. Louisville got punished.
Yeah.
Everybody. Kentucky, I'm sure, is on the list.
So if these other schools are offering big time money and Duke's not offering nothing,
how are they going to compete? How do they compete then?
Yeah.
How do they continue to be
just
elite?
because you're Duke, you got Duke on your jersey?
No.
Yeah,
no one cares.
Nobody cares, man.
You give me a check, dude. Whew. And Duke seems to always have someone, dude.
Always.
Cam Reddish, Marvin Bagley,
Jason Tatum,
RJ Barrett, dude. I'm sure Barrett got a check. Jason Tatum, dude. Kyrie Irving got a check, I'm sure. 1 year, dude. Yeah. And then the Kentucky Karl Anthony Towns, like they have just a crazy names too coming out of Kentucky that it's just like, yeah, De'Aaron Fox.
Yeah, Devin Booker. Yeah, everybody's
Booker
getting
wasn't
paid.
even a starter on the team, and now he's one of the best scorers in the NBA.
He scored
and he didn't
70
even
points.
start on Kentucky.
70 points in one game. But yeah, I mean, you got to be paying him.
And it's like what we were saying about how the Joe Rogan deal isn't beneficial. Like they wouldn't do it if it wasn't beneficial for both. I'm sure Duke is giving him that money, knowing that Zion is going to bring him a lot more.
Which he did. You know?
Absolutely. Everybody. I'm sure they weigh it and they don't give these, like, I'm sure like DeAndre and is rumored to get a huge amount. He got a huge amount. I'm sure, let's say the second best player on the team, who I can't remember, maybe got something. Who knows? I don't know. But I'm sure DeAndre and the best player on whatever team gets the biggest check.
It's just like the NBA, dude. Just hush hush under the table.
Yeah.
But it's obviously with less money and, you know, a 1 year contract or whatever it is, you know.
That's what Steve Kerr said. He was like, I'm never going to coach college because that system is
it's broken.
Nope.
It's a broken system. It's an old system.
Not for me.
It's not going to work. And they changed it though. Or they're going to change it, right? At least California
That's
did.
what they said, dude. But that's the other thing. Like you want to hope that all the states come together and in unison decide like, yes, but
because it was just California, right?
But that's just a freaking can of worms, dude. If you start paying,
but they're doing
a can of worms, dude. They're opening up with something.
They're not getting paid directly by the school. They're getting paid
on
for
their like Olympics, like the Olympics, right? Like the athletes from the Olympics, they get paid on their own rights. They go out, and if you're good enough to get a check from somebody, then you have the right to go out there and get it.
But the Olympics do not directly pay their athletes.
Yeah. But they're obviously going to the Olympics
for the exposure.
Everybody wants to get a piece of that, I'm sure. Everybody's going to watch the Olympics, the whole world. I bet you the Olympics could get close to like billions of views, dude. Like maybe 1 billion or close to
the whole
at
world.
least.
The whole world. So, yeah, you get the exposure. And
that's a good point because what I was about to say, like the can of worms, like if everybody has like a certain, I don't know, income or salary or something like that, then it's going to be unfair because there's no way that the football team should be making as much money as the water polo team. Even though you're an athlete, like I get it, but dude, you have to realize that football runs it, dude. The football coach is the president of the university, even though someone else has the title. The football coach runs that, dude, especially from the huge, ginormous schools. The football coaches run that.
Oh, yeah.
And you can't argue that, to be honest, dude.
It's like you're trying to escape from reality because reality has capitalism and the NCAA doesn't. For whatever reason. If you're going to
pay Burrow, Trevor Lawrence, the current college stars, you're going to give them the same amount of money as a women's basketball player, as a water polo, as a golfer.
Yeah.
No.
It doesn't add up.
So that's a good system, I kind of think. But it's obviously not as simple as that, but that's almost like capitalism, right? It's almost like, hey, if you're good enough for a company to want to give you their money and they're going to risk a little bit of their income or their, pocket money to give to you so you could bring them more, then
so be it. That's capitalism, business.
Like if you're not good enough, then you're not good enough. Like, sorry, sucks, tough.
If you're not, promote yourself. Try to get yourself out there then. Try to make some money.
Get better. Like, you don't want me to celebrate after I score a touchdown and stop me. Stop me.
Exactly. So that's, I mean, it's tough to really decide, but that's the best option. Just the Olympic model. Good. Olympic model is the best option where, you know, you don't pay them. The schools don't directly pay them, but outside businesses, outside companies can hook them up. Be like, oh, you trying to promote my tire company, my local tire company?
It's like,
I'll give you a quick buck.
Be in a commercial. It's like, hey, do this and that. I'm sure there's some other things, like if Zion, for example, wanted to be like in some local commercial, maybe, I don't know, maybe like, let's say you can't wear a Duke jersey or something, you know, like you're almost like right. You're off the clock, like you're off the side. If this company, you want to work with them, but maybe right. they don't like that.
I think that
it's like you're unaffiliated,
because then
like
Duke's going to want to get the money, because Duke's going to be like,
exactly. It's like, you're wearing, that's our name. You're wearing our jersey.
Mm-hmm.
Give me, that's a good point. So probably not.
Yep. It's definitely the best model. It should have happened a long time ago.
It's weird that there's no like punishments though, I guess, for everything that's happened, all the schools that's been named. There's like a HBO documentary that came out. ESPN is attacking a lot of schools and just straight up calling them out for probably cheating. It's probably right. Wouldn't doubt it. But nothing has really came down. Louisville, I don't even think they got punished like for that. I think it was the stripper stuff, right? That was like the stripper weird stuff, and they lost that championship.
It was
probably recruit though. I think they were giving stuff to their recruits, and they got their championship vacated. That's the only punishment. I think the LSU coach got fired.
Alabama coach, I think Avery Johnson isn't there no more, I think.
But nothing really like legitimately from the NCAA punishing a school has came out. The FBI is said, I think they are investigating that. So
it's already been years though, right?
Yeah, right. It's been multiple years, I bet. So since it all just dropped, since it all just blew up in everyone's face, like it's been a while and nothing has come down. And it seems like it's, I don't know. It's like losing, like that Zion story would have been huge years ago. And now it's almost like, maybe it's because he's in the league and it's not, they're not like going to suspend him from the NBA, or he's not going to face any criminal charges. It's a civil suit.
Yeah.
So if anything, nothing's going to happen. He's just going to lose a little money or something. But
they'll vacate wins. He might have to pay a fine, whatever. No big deal.
But yeah, exactly. It's not a big deal when I guess it should have been in the 90s or 80s. Like, didn't they freak out over Chris Webber, took the Final Fours, stripped them? If that had happened nowadays,
I don't think it'd be a big deal.
Yeah, they wouldn't strip them.
As big of a deal. Yeah.
But it's just so many schools got called out to where it's like, dude, give me a break. Like, you're going to have to punish everybody. You're going to have to vacate seasons if you want this to go away. Like, there's no way. That's just not possible, dude.
Yep. So, I mean, Zion Williamson getting paid to go to Duke. Nobody really, I mean, it's brushed under the table, brushed under the rug. So, we'll see. But you want to go straight into you want to go one more topic? Or do you want to go into our final sort of thing?
When we were talking about the Bulls, what's it called? I was thinking to when we were saying the weird story about Steve Kerr, what's his name? Bison Dele, dude.
Oh, yeah.
Bison Dele was on the Bulls team in 97. He won a championship. And what we were talking about earlier, how the documentary didn't cover certain things about Dennis's partying. They covered Steve Kerr's weird story. I'm sure Bison Dele wasn't as big as a contributor to that championship.
He was on the team, right?
Yeah, he was on the team in 97. And then he got a huge deal from the Pistons, got traded, and then retired all of a sudden. Retired in a weird fashion all of a sudden.
Like with less than 10 years, right? Less than 10 years of being in the league.
Yeah. And he was good. I think he had a career average over 10, probably like 12 points, 6 rebounds, I bet.
So another weird story. Bison Dele.
Huge check.
Bison Dele. He used to be, right, Brian Williams. He changed his name to Bison
Williams
Dele.
In college. I think he played at Maryland and then Arizona, like Steve Kerr, like his... Both, and they ended on the Bulls. He was on that team for sure, but they didn't mention him at all. Maybe it's because his story is just so
it deserves
crazy.
a documentary on its own.
Exactly. It deserves some other separate time because it's just, and he really didn't affect it. I didn't even see him once.
Yeah, he's not known.
I didn't see him not once.
Not known Bison Dele. I mean, not known of not
Bulls. Like he's not known as that on the 90s
not known as a
team.
basketball player. Nobody really knows who he is, but
he's mainly known for that crazy retirement. And then he said he was going to go travel the world and go to crazy places on like a boat, and
which he tried to do, right? So
changed his name, like Brian Williams to Bison Dele. I can't remember why he said it. I think he said some interesting stuff.
Yeah, he said he was like going through problems, like mental issues, right? He was like depressed or something like that. I don't know.
And he got better. I think after he left, he was better. I think he did. I think he got happier. He exactly what he wanted, I guess, for leaving the NBA is what happened. He got better. He felt better, but man, dude, that's so weird. It was like this brother threw him like his own flesh and blood.
Yeah, so he went out, right, traveling the world on a boat. He was in the middle of the ocean with his brother and a chef, was it?
No, I think it was the captain and then
the captain of the
Bison's
boat.
Girlfriend.
So it was the captain, Bison's girlfriend, and Bison's brother.
Mm-hmm.
They were all on a boat.
In the middle of the ocean.
No surrounding land, and
one thing led to another. No one knows. I'm not saying people say he's still alive, but he could be. There's no confirmed body found after.
It's a mystery.
This happened in I think it's probably the early 2000s. Early 2000s is one thing led to another. And the only dude that came back from that boat trip was Bison's brother. The girlfriend, the captain, and Bison were nowhere to be seen ever again. And the brother, I think, came back and tried to pull out a certain amount of money. He tried to act like he was Bison Dele, and he tried to pull out a huge amount of money out of his account. And I'm sure that they hadn't heard from him in a while. And then they get this report that he's in the middle of this random city trying to pull out hundreds of thousands of dollars. Hey, we need to check this out. And I don't know if he got arrested. I think he did tell his story. I think the story that the brother told, which is probably nonsense, believe it or not, he said that Bison was attacking them. Bison was doing something. He attacked his girlfriend, or I think he killed his girlfriend, threw her overboard, maybe killed the captain too. I don't know. I think that's a story. He killed him in self-defense. The brother killed him in self-defense and threw him overboard for some reason. That is nuts. That's not true, dude. That is complete BS. Apparently killed him in self-defense, threw him overboard for some reason. I don't know. Came back to shore, tried to act like he was him, take his money, get arrested. And I think he fled to Mexico after there probably wasn't enough evidence to charge him and hold him in a prison cell or something like that, or a jail cell. And he went to, I think, Mexico or something, overdosed on insulin because he was a diabetic. I think he either overdosed or he didn't take his insulin. I think he overdosed on insulin.
Shit.
And then he ended up on a shore or on the beach. Someone found him, looked at him, and it was Bison Dele's brother. And I think they both got, I don't know, I read something that they had a funeral. It's probably not together, but they held a funeral for Bison and never had the body. And all of them are now dead, and the story is probably dead.
Unsolved. Yeah, it's unsolved story.
Complete mystery. No one knows. Who knows? If Bison did that if Bison truly did attack his brother, why would you throw him overboard? Why wouldn't you have the body?
And not only that, whatever, you throw him overboard, whatever, you come on a shore.
And you take his money.
Why is the first thing you do is try to go after his money? Why not be the first thing is to tell somebody about it?
My brother tried to kill me on this boat. I killed him. Someone help. Simple.
Why try to tell a story after you get caught trying to use his money? Why tell that story then?
He attacked me and he killed his girlfriend and I had to do what I had to do. Dude, no way. No way. I think I read too that he may have been probably jealous, right? He's probably jealous of his brother.
He's got
NBA
more money.
Star, champion, who had it all and then left it all. Who had it all and was just I'm done. Here you go. And that brother's dude, he probably thought it was a stupid move.
Yeah.
Because everybody sort of did. Maybe not him. Sure he's I'm going to do me.
I'm pretty sure Bison Dele refused a big contract. I think there was a big contract that was on the table and he turned it down.
No, I think he got it. I think he got a huge contract from the Pistons and then he left during that contract. And they had to keep paying him. he got that big contract and then it was almost like a waste because he stopped playing. I don't know if he was offered or I don't know if that's true. I'm pretty sure I heard that he signed a huge contract with the Pistons and then just left, and it was a waste.
That Bison Dele story is crazy, dude.
And then dude, that's so weird. And he's probably dead in the ocean, most likely. And
his brother's dead, his girlfriend's dead, the captain's dead. Nobody really knows what it is. Like, everybody speculates. I mean, that's the clear number one.
The brother did it. The brother obviously killed him.
Reason or
tried to take money and fled, like trying to leave.
Yeah, so that's the number one story that people have come up with, and it's a crazy. I mean, that Bison Dele, that whole thing is crazy. Like, his whole story,
in, like, Tahiti or Tibet, or I don't know.
I think
where
it was Tahiti.
He was at.
That sounds very familiar.
Probably a nice place to die, but not
drowned.
Good way, dude. Yeah. No, I think he was probably shot or stabbed or killed before and then thrown underwater.
Yeah, because then or else you would swim, right?
Right. Yeah, I guess you're right. Like, you're not gonna like put his head or something or drown. He's huge. I'm sure Bison could beef. You had to shoot him or stab him, get him by surprise or something.
Yeah, so that's a crazy story too, dude. That Bison Dele story is crazy.
But I think that's at the end of the day, it's because all of them are dead. Like, if someone, I don't know, maybe if the brother had survived, like, who knows? I'm not gonna believe his story.
He could have confessed or something.
He could have fought in court and appealed, and like he would have lost because he obviously looks very guilty. And if he would have argued that he didn't do it and continued, like Aaron Hernandez, almost like he just wants to straight up say, I didn't do it, even though everything points at you, I didn't do it. If he wanted to argue that, then it's almost like, I guess if he got charged and put to jail, then I think the story would have been that. It would have been believed and not a mystery. It would have been like, this brother was jealous, killed him, like whatever the lawyers built up against him probably would have been something like that. He's jealous of his brother. He always didn't like him, didn't like his girlfriend, and got rid of him somehow, and then wanted to take his money.
Yeah. I mean, that was his main goal.
But it never
obviously
happened.
His main goal was obviously just to get his money.
Yeah.
I mean, according to
legend,
yeah, unsolved. It's still an unsolved mystery. So who knows, man?
It's always going to be it's never going to be solved. It's already been probably close to 20 years. So it's at this point, I mean, Bison's food chow, like he's fish chow. He's gone.
Yeah. Piranhas ate his ass up.
He's gone. Like, there's no way.
Yeah.
Even if you're not going to find anything, dude. That's wild. That's wild.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought that story up because that is a crazy story, dude.
Right? Something else to do. Like, the documentary didn't even mention it. You're right. It's probably because it deserves its own thing. But, I mean, Steve Kerr's story is pretty crazy. And
something that nobody really knows about,
on the Bulls, dude. Yeah, nobody really, because he wasn't, like we said, a well-known Bulls player. He wasn't known as, I don't know. That's just, man. Do you think he's more known for that? I mean, when you die, obviously celebrities get more famous.
Yeah, he's more known for his story than of his actual basketball career.
So, that's just horrible. Like, to get to a point where you want to kill your own brother just because
you're jealous he has more money.
Who knows? And then you overdose on insulin. That's either him trying to get away with it and he's like evil and he's like, I think there's some video of some dude, like a bunch of people did it. They get convicted and then pop a cyanide and then they're done and they don't deal with the punishment. So maybe he did that, or it was
an accident.
Yeah, no,
coincidence.
I don't think so. Well, who knows? But it seems like it was either like, I think, evil intention to kill himself, or he was guilty. He realized like, oh man, I'd be scared, right? Like if I did that and then I had a reaction to it and I'd be guilty, scared for the future. Like, I don't know. I wouldn't want to kill myself, but I guess you could see why you'd want to, especially with like a diabetic problem. And you're just like, all right, I'm just going to take a lot of insulin.
Yep, that's for sure, dude. Crazy story, man. Crazy story. We're coming up hour 42 right now, dude. Doesn't seem that long.
Yeah, it doesn't seem that long. That's for sure.
Yeah, you want to do the last little piece? You want to come up with another topic, or you want to do the last?
I think we're good, dude. Should we just crack it open?
Yeah. So we're gonna do a beer review here. Beer review coming up. Something that we're gonna try to do.
I pull it out.
Maybe at the end of every episode. Maybe have one episode where we drink a couple and maybe do a little buzzed episode. But right now we're just gonna try to do a little beer review. at the end of each episode. This episode, we have Barrio Citrazona IPA. Not sponsored by them. We wish we were, though.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, we wish we were, but not sponsored. So this is going to be a
native, local, independent.
It's going to be a true review here, no bias. So Barrio Citrazona IPA. Barrio is a brewery in Tucson, Arizona.
Local.
Established in 1991. And this is just information on their website.
Yeah.
It says they are Arizona's first 100% employee-owned brewery.
Ooh.
Apparently,
you don't hear that every day. You definitely
that means
don't.
that employees share the stock of the company.
And it says 100%. Maybe it's like majority. Sometimes that's majority employee owned, but 100%.
Yep. Here's the cups. Pour it up. Let's see how she looks. Barrio Citrazona. The alcohol percentage is 6.6. And so 6.6 is just how much alcohol by volume.
What is IBU? I saw that score. Like IBU is ranked like 50 or something.
Yeah, it's IBU is short for International Bitterness Units, which this beer has 58.5.
Nice little color, dude. It looks nice, like the fizz, the foam.
I don't really know what IBUs is, like bitterness, like how bitter it is. I'm not too sure. That's just what it says, man. We just point out the facts. We're about to give our opinion, though, right now. See what...
The facts? These are the facts, but opinions are more important.
Opinions are about to come.
What I think is more important.
Opinions are about to come. All right, so, salud.
Put it a little too far. Don't spill.
Let's try.
It looks beautiful. It looks good, nice. Dude. The color.
Looks very nice.
Foam. It's not like cloudy. Some beers are cloudy. Some beers are like hard to see through. This one's definitely like a nice, clear, fizzy. It looks nice. I keep saying that. I keep saying nice, but it looks nice.
Nice little IPA. Here it goes.
And the cup, beautiful, yeah. Tastes like an IPA.
I like IPAs.
Yeah, hell yeah. That's definitely my favorite.
Nice and
it's not bitter. I don't know. Like there's some like almost some taste.
I wouldn't say it's
some
bitter.
IPAs have. Yeah, I wouldn't say bitter at all. This is. I don't know how that score works, the IBU score, but what do they say? Like if you have a 50 score, you can still be less bitter or more bitter than 20. I think it's less. I think if you have a 50 score, you can be less bitter than a beer that has a 20 score, which is just a weird scoring scale or whatever it is, but. This one is not bitter at all. I think.
Yeah, I don't really taste too much bitter.
This is definitely like a good drinking. Like there's some IPAs that you put a gulp in and it's hard to put down. It's kind of like like a shot. Like it has a little strong alcohol. It's kind of strong and it's hard to put it down quick. But this feels like I could chug it. Like I could definitely chug this no problem and not feel like probably not a good idea. But
yeah,
it's good. It
does taste good. I like it. I like IPAs though. I mean, it definitely tastes like an IPA.
Yeah,
it's got
strong.
A little bit like a citrus hint to it. I mean, a little.
No, you know what? No, I'm gonna say no. When it's called Citrazona, right? I don't really taste a citrus.
I kind of do. Like a little
like
hint,
a blue
like a little.
Moon, like there's some citrusy stuff
like
that's
a dash of citrus, a little sprinkle,
little orange peel. Mm-hmm. I don't get it. I don't really feel it that much.
I don't know.
It's not like what do they say? Hoppy. It doesn't taste hoppy. I don't know what really hoppy tastes like, but you can maybe it's like yeasty, a little bit more like
IPAs in general are more hoppy. Like that's more hoppy than regular light beers. I don't know, but with every sip I take, dude, I'm
better.
I'm feeling it.
I'm already twisted right now. I'm already freaking
feeling it.
Hella twisted. Where's the rest of the can?
No, yeah, but I like it.
It's
Citrazona,
good. Yeah, it's actually
Barrio.
Pretty good, dude. And to be honest, like their main beer, Barrio Blonde, I'm not a fan. Like we said, I probably like IPAs more.
Yeah, we've tried
the Barrio Blonde compared to other I don't know what it is, a Pilsner or a lager. It's not an IPA. Not a fan. It's like that one has no taste, or it has a funky taste. It has like don't like it. I think that's why they're most popular beer, the one they mainly try to put out there. But this IPA, bro, is
Barrio's most popular beer is.
I don't know what grade to have. This is like our first time. I don't know if like a scale, right? It's always hard to grade the first one. Like the next time you're able to be like, oh, this one is either worse or better than
based
the
off
Citrazona.
I mean, we can always go back and be like, oh, let's say just for example, we'll put this at a 7. And then for the next beer, we're like, no, this is a 7 and this Citrazona is an 8 or a 6, or whatever. So we could do that. I mean, I know that you're going to have to check out the other episode for that.
Hey.
but right now, dude, I like this.
Like and subscribe.
I like this a lot. It's nice color to it. I like IPAs. So if you're not a fan of IPAs, then this is not for you.
Then I don't affiliate with you. I don't associate with you.
But this really, for real, if you're not a fan of IPAs, this is not for you.
Some people don't, Some
like
people
IPAs.
just don't. Like, there's another Tucson local Dragoon. I remember I ordered a Dragoon at a restaurant. And some guy was like, you like Dragoons? You like I was like, yeah, dude. It's like, do you drink it? And I was like, yeah. Like,
what do you think I'm going to do?
It's good, dude. It's like, he's like, no, dude, hell no. It's bitter. It's gross. He's like, I can't drink that.
Yeah.
Like,
some people aren't.
I can put
IPAs.
it down, dude.
Yeah. Some people aren't about IPAs. I like IPAs. I like it to
if
taste
it ain't
like beer.
over 7 or 6%, bro, I ain't having it.
You like that strong stuff. But 6.6 alcohol. That's a pretty decent number.
That's like 2 Bud Lights, right? Bud Lights like 3, or those,
I think they're like 3.8.
PBRs, Coors are probably like 3, a little below 2, or a little below 3.
I think they're like 3.8. I think Bud Light
like close to 4.
Yeah, I think they're like 3.8. Close to 4. Like a Dos Equis. I think a Dos Equis is 4.2, maybe 4.5.
Yeah, I think it's stronger because when we went to Vegas and I think they had Corona or Dos Equis, and Dos Equis was strong. I like Dos Equis better than Corona.
Yeah. Maybe we'll do that down the road, but right now the Citrazona
But those
is
are common
nice.
beers. I like the
something different, right? Something like craft beer.
because everybody,
they know the domestic. They
know what they like. There's certain groups. I bet like you can find your favorite pretty popular IPA. You have your favorite like Bud Light, Coors, whatever. Like you have your favorite one of those that every restaurant's gonna have.
Yeah, right. Mm-hmm.
And then maybe like a funky cider, like apple cider, like a
Angry Orchard
or red, or what it is,
Red's apple.
Like, you can find little fruity beers too. Or do you like sour beers too, dude?
I do like sour beer.
I mean, I could drink a sour beer, but I would rather not. I would rather not. Like when you got a pour one time and it was like pink, or it's like, dude, I'm good. I'm good. I want that.
Yeah, I like sour. I like IPAs though, which is completely on the different side of, like on the different spectrum. Like IPAs on one side and sours on the complete other side. So it's different. I like a variety. I'm versatile.
I'm agile.
Yeah. I can go from one spot to the next. But I like this. I like the Citrazona.
Yeah,
it's really nice.
Good,
I think I'm going to give it like, what do you think? Out of 10? I think this is
better than like, let's say like a common IPA. I want to say is Lagunitas, right? That's a pretty common. Blue Moon. Is Blue Moon an IPA? That's an ale, right? That's a no. Don't tell me. It's no idea.
It is a Belgium. White Belgium. Idea. I think it's Belgian white, something like that.
I like when you said it one time. Blue Moon is good on draft, but not good in a can.
Yeah,
and I think that's true, dude.
That
a big old cup of Blue Moon.
That is very true.
It's good, but I would say this is better than Blue Moon, better than like a Lagunitas, off of just basic IPAs that are just coming off my mind.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna go with like a 8, 7.5. I'm gonna go 7.5. 7.5. It's hard to rate the starter.
I don't think I've ever tried it. I don't think I've ever had it before.
An 8's a good score, so I'm gonna go one smidge under the good. So I'm gonna go 7.5, just because it is the first one. It's hard to grade.
But just off of our prior beer knowledge, beer experiences, this is good.
I like
this
it.
This is for sure good on draft. Maybe that's the case with all beers or all IPAs and all that stuff. Like it's better on draft. If you got a good clean cup of some of this, dude, with a meal. Like that's maybe the problem with like IPAs. IPAs are hard to eat something with. Maybe like
because they're just strong.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. And your palate's just instant. Like you'd say you're biting some meat or something, and then you take a gulp of this. It's not like refreshing. Like maybe you want like a refreshing gulp or something, and then you get a strong like IPA.
Yeah,
not very good food beer.
Once you said palate, it brought me back. This is what Barrio, the brewing company of this Citrazona, described the beer. They said that this IPA is designed to not wreck the palate.
And it didn't. There are some beers, I bet you that for sure there are beers I've had where it's like just a crazy amount of everything. Like it's just like a flavor, like everything. Like some of your sour beers are like, you have the fruit flavor.
They're all over the place. Yeah.
This one for sure is just like a smooth, clean IPA. Like not cloudy, like I said, not hoppy, yeasty, not too citrusy. Even though it has Citrazona, I still really don't taste the citrus. I like it.
I'm going to go 7.5.
I like it.
I want to give it an 8.
I'm going to go 8.
But I'm going to go 7.5.
7.
You're going to go 7? I'm going to go 7.5.
For now.
7.5.
I don't know. It's not like we're having like a competition or something, but I guess at the end, like after a long, like you can.
We'll see. Maybe we'll put it together. Maybe we'll put a compilation together. See what the deal is.
Was terrible,
but I like it. I do like it. 7.5. I'll buy it again. Not too bad. I do like it. I'll mess with this.
The dogs were barking at the end, dude. I hope it does not come through. I kept hearing them.
I hope what we're saying right now. I hope what we're saying right now makes no sense to you, because we definitely heard the dogs. So I heard. I hope that you guys didn't hear the dogs. So, anyways, but that's it, man. I'm gonna finish this. Let's finish this. Finish the episode.
Little pooter.
Finish the episode.
Good, dude. Very good.
Cheers. That was good stuff. But that's it, man. 2 hours coming up. Finished it off with a beer review. I hope you guys take care, man. I hope you guys enjoyed. Let us know what you think.
Yeah.
Again, dude, let that big conversation that we had, the Michael Jordan versus LeBron James.
If you
have your opinion, send us a comment.
Email us a video. Whatever. Send us something. Send us like a debate, and we'll definitely have we'll react to it. And the next one, if we get something, it would be cool to. Maybe you have different points that we never brought up or never thought of. And
exactly.
It's like, whoa, dude, I have different perspective, dude. Different.
Yeah, exactly.
Points.
I mean, we'll play it on the next episode. We'll do a little recap of this episode on the next one. And, if we get videos, we'll check them out. We'll put them on the next episode, and we'll see how that goes. So appreciate the love. See you guys. Hope you guys take care. Stay safe.
Take care.
Stay safe. Wash your hands.
Wash your hands for sure. Don't touch other people. Don't hang out with older people if you have the sniffles.
Yep. Just stay safe, man. Be careful. And we'll see you guys next time.
Adios.
Peace.